TikTok time to rock. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon to everyone who's watching from all over the world. You guys keep interrupting my my intros with your stupid comments. Because keep in mind, I'm trying to give an intro and I just glance over at the comments and then I see TikTok on the zoot. Like, and then that's followed by, you see the proof. Oh man. Oh yeah. Shame on y'all. Shame on you all. The travesty of the Al Zut story. It's no laughing matter. Although someone said something funny earlier. Hang on, let me see if it's true. Someone said something funny. Al Zut. Okay. Al Zut. Let's see what happens here. Okay, so look at this. Look at it. Someone said this earlier. Hey, check this out. One second. Was not planning on doing this, but I just remembered, and then someone brought up Al Zut. So, what are you laughing at? What are you laughing at, Thaddeus?
I'm pretty sure I know what you're about to pull up because I saw a comment that. But I don't want to give anything away.
Good. Let's see what happens. Okay, so someone said if you Google Al Zut, the Google now has the AI thing that answers your stuff. All right, so here we have it, ladies and gentlemen. This is what pops up. If you Google Al Zut, you have this AI overview up here in the corner. It says, Al Zut refers to a historical group of people likely originating from the Indus Valley region, modern-day Pakistan and India, who were present in early Islamic society. They are mentioned in various Islamic texts and historical accounts, sometimes with the connotations of physical strength and sometimes in connections with events like the Zut Rebellion. We got this so far? So then we click on show more, right? Show more. And then here's what's funny. Someone messaged me about this. Ready? So here's a more detailed explanation. Origin and identity. The Zut were a people who lived in Sindh and Mecca and sometimes were present in Arabia. They are believed to be related to the Jat people of the Punjab region and so on. Anyway, you go through this and what does it have right here? So you get to the end here of the AI and it says connections to Sindh and India, the Zut's origins in the Indus Valley and their interactions with Muslim societies from an early stage highlight their significant role in the spread of Islam and the cultural exchange between the regions. This video explains the historical context of the Zut people and their relationship to the Prophet Muhammad. And they have a link to my video. They have a link to my video on YouTube. They mounted the Prophet. Oh man, that is classic. Oh boy, that is funny stuff, Thaddeus.
Definitely. There was and one of the things it said, relationship to possibly quote unquote writing the prophet. So, before you scroll all the way to the bottom.
That's funny. That reminds me, it's weird because years ago, if you go back like 2010, 2011 and so on, when you looked up something on Islam in Google, my videos or articles would be like 3 or 4 of the top 10. Same thing on YouTube. If you looked up Muhammad or Aisha or any of those things, my videos would be like 3 or 4 of the top 10. Eventually, they did some spring cleaning and they started directing people towards more sanitized material. But anyway, so it's funny that it's kind of back with the AI. It's back with the AI. Now you can actually get recommended, but that's just funny. And what's really hilarious is I've said before, I'm semi joking in that video. I'm semi joking. I say I'm not fully joking because you do have this weird stuff in these sources. I'm semi joking in that I don't know what that means, but I can say what it sounds like. But I've been warning Muslims for the past, probably 2 years, that if they keep lying about stuff like, Rebecca was 3 in the Bible, and they'll just run around lying like that. And the Catholic Encyclopedia says Mary was 12. And if they're just going to keep lying like this, what I said was, repeatedly, I'm not going to tell people to lie in response. I'm not going to say, oh, they're lying, so now we're going to lie too. But I will tell people, just go with the creepiest, most obvious interpretation of some of these weird passages, and don't give Muslims the benefit of the doubt on these. We are inclined to give the benefit of the doubt. In other words, when we read all these passages about Muhammad putting on his wife's clothing, that's what the passages sound like. It says he's in the garments of his wives, right? And you'll have people say, maybe that's a euphemism for this, or maybe that's an idiom for that, and they'll go with all these weird translations. Like they'll say, oh, it means house here. I was in my wife's house. It's like, it says dress. It says I was in my wife's dress. Where are you? Or it'll either say, you have passages that say in my wife's dress, and you'll have passages that say in my wife's garment. Where are you getting house from that? Where? Anyway, but we're nice. So it's just a tendency to give people the benefit of the doubt and say, okay, maybe, I don't know what kind of figures of speech or what's going on from 7th century Arabia. So maybe. Those days are gone, ladies and gentlemen. Now it's just, it's a passage about these men of Al-Zut mounting Muhammad. We're just going to interpret that in the way that what it sounds like. And he comes back in pain and passes out and falls asleep on his companion's lap. His companion who was watching from behind the line. You know what that sounds like, guys. And we're going to get Mary. We need to get Mary on here to explain some of the evidence that Muhammad was, the things that were done to Muhammad when he was young that might explain why he's so weird and creepy when he got older. And keep in mind, this wouldn't stuff that's happening to him when he was young of a really serious abuse nature. This wouldn't be us criticizing Muhammad for this stuff. It would be trying to understand and so on, but it would kind of make sense of a lot of later really weird stuff and weird obsessions that he has. Anyway, wild stuff. So anyway, the warning to the warning to our Muslim friends is, you guys keep lying, just flat out lying about the Bible. And I warned you. I'm not going to encourage people to lie, but I will encourage people to take these creepy stories, share them all over the place, make fun of them, and not give you guys the benefit of the doubt on these. And I'm just showing you that video's on it. It's got almost 900,000 views already, and now Google is sharing it whenever anyone looks up Al-Zut. You should take this seriously, guys. You should take this seriously. Stop lying about the Bible. You want to criticize the Bible? Criticize the Bible. You want to criticize our beliefs? Criticize our beliefs. When it just becomes normal for you guys to lie in response to us sharing information, fine. I could get dirty too. And as you can see, and that's just getting started. We've got Muhammad's what Muhammad did in the grave of his dead aunt. We've got that whole story, and we know what that sounds like. And I'm going to make sure it really sounds like that. We've got that. We've got all the stories about Muhammad dressing up, prancing around in his wife's nighties and so on. It's going to be a bad year for you guys. Bad year. But can't say I didn't warn you. I mean, I gave you like 2 years to correct course. You didn't. You refused. So Thaddeus, why don't you? I got Thaddeus on because Thaddeus follows this stuff a lot more closely than the rest of us. And you've been really paying attention to this. What are we about to check out here, Thaddeus?
All right. So brief version of everything that happened up until now. About 2 months ago, a Muslim channel called Behind Veils came out with accusations that Muhammad Hijab had tricked a woman into a secret Misar marriage, a secret marriage with reduced rights. Once the marriage took place, he immediately changed the terms to be, in his words, a sex-only marriage or a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. I believe he also called it a hotel marriage. Obviously, he was only interested in legalizing having sex with this woman. She didn't.
Pause real quick. Pause real quick. Just wanted to clarify for everyone. So, Muta marriage. So that's temporary marriage. You do find that in the Muslim sources, even in the Sunni Muslim sources. but there are conflicting reports in the Sunni sources. Some say, like everyone agrees that Muhammad allowed his followers to hire prostitutes for a while, at least a while. So they were going out into battle and they're a long way from home and they start moaning, "Oh, we're so far. Should we just castrate ourselves? What are we going to do?" And instead of saying, "Come on, act like men, show some self-restraint, show some self-control," he allowed them to hire prostitutes. And it would say they would just, give a woman a handful of flour or a garment or something like that in exchange for sex. So it was straight up prostitution. It was straight up 100% prostitution, but it was halal prostitution. They halalified it by saying, okay, you're going to have sex with this woman for an hour, so you're just going to marry her for an hour. And that would be the marriage contract. That would be the marriage contract. You're going to marry this woman for an hour, right? So that's in even the Sunni sources that Muhammad allowed that. But you eventually, the practice was forbade at some point. Now, even in the Sunni sources, there's a disagreement about when this happened. A bunch of the sources say, and when I say sources, I mean in the exact same sources. So you go to Sahih Muslim, you get completely different accounts of what happened. But you'll go to some passages and it will say that Muhammad changed his mind at some point and then he said, no more Muta, no more Muta for Yuta. Okay. And so Muhammad put an end to the practice, in which case it was forbidden and Muslims shouldn't be doing it anymore. But you'll have in the exact same sources, it will say that it was actually one of the later caliphs who forbade the practice. And so if you follow that, it's a later caliph. Then what do you do with these sources saying that Muhammad forbade the practice? You'd say, okay, it was a later caliph who forbade the practice, but people made up stories about this being Muhammad in order to make sure that people understood they're not allowed to do it. Anyway, so that's Muta. So it's usually in the Sunni world, usually in the Sunni Muslim world, they'll say, Muta is no longer allowed. We don't do Muta. But what they will do is Misar, where you're marrying someone and the woman is renouncing certain marital rights or privileges or something like that. And she would agree to this. But what you find is the Sunni Muslims, they use Misar marriage exactly like they would use Muta, except they're not telling the woman, hey, I'm just marrying you for 3 hours or something like that. What they'll do is say, yes, I'll marry you. And they're planning to divorce her right after they're done with them. Yeah. Anyway, just wanted everyone to clear it because so when I say Muta and I call it McMuta and stuff like this, technically it's McMisyar and so on. My point is I'm throwing this in their faces because they're using it in exactly the same way you'd use Muta. In fact, it's worse because at least with Muta, you're upfront with the woman and saying, I'm going to marry you and I'm going to divorce you 3 hours from now. After I have my way with you, I'm going to divorce you. With these Misyar marriages, they're just lying to the women. Yes, of course, I'm going to be your husband. We may have to keep it secret because I'll just be doing this in the hotel. But yes, I'm going to be your husband, and then they divorce them and so on, so they can exchange them for the next Misyar wife. So when I say Muta, I'm just kind of I'm making fun of them for doing the same thing and actually worse than Muta. Anyway, just wanted people to understand the terminology that we'll be using. And all right, go ahead. Continue, Thaddeus.
Yeah. You're absolutely correct. A Mishar is very similar to Muta. Muta has a predefined end date. Mishar does not. In theory, it could be a permanent marriage, but normally it is definitely very temporary. So the woman's name, or at least alias, what she goes by, is Aisha. So Aisha, as soon as she found out that hijab was changing the terms, he spent 3 years basically grooming her, thinking that he got her to a position where she'd just accept whatever he did. She did not accept it. They were very quickly divorced within days or weeks at most. And then she wanted there to be some accountability. She did, get her bride price. She did get her mar, but she wanted there to be accountability.
Hang on. You're saying this thing only lasted a few?
Yes.
So this was short.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So we're hearing about it. We're hearing about it years later. And so I had always assumed that this was going on for years. It was a years-long thing. You're saying this was actually a short-term thing, and the years are basically her trying to get justice and
That is correct.
her trying to prevent this from happening again, and that's what's been taking the time.
Yes. So she went to dozens, in her words, 100 plus Muslim scholars trying to get someone who would do something about this. Hijab was saying behind scenes that if you go public with this, I'll just say that, yeah, we were married and she was really bad in bed, so I divorced her. So it'll be an embarrassment on you. Now, the reason he didn't actually do that when it became public, or when it was threatened to become public, is because Hijab is terrified of his first wife. His first wife it was revealed, his first wife previously left him for about a year, took his kids with her, and disappeared on him. The last time he had a secret Misar wife that she found out about, she's like, I'm out of here. I don't have to put up with this crap. And he's like, oh, I'll never do it again. I'll never do it again.
Big tough Hijab got his wife under control. Wait, so hang on. So this would still be his wife, most likely, right?
Yes, I believe that he is still married to her. I believe she did come back to him eventually.
So hang on. So Muhammad Hijab and Ali Dawa, they've been talking about this. They basically brag about it, and it's like a laughing matter about how these guys are all just having all these polygamous marriages and so on. So Hijab in that clip with Daniel Hakikachu, he's laughing and joking and talking about, and he's actually describing which women take it best and so on in these polygamous marriages and so on. He says the revert women so they go, oh, come to Islam where we respect women, and they're just trying to bang the women and so on. So they've been talking about that. Then there's the famous Ali Dawa show where they made women sound bad. They made their wives sound bad if they have a problem with them having second, third, fourth wives. And they said, it's basically your fault that we have to have secret polygamous wives, because we know you guys will complain. So it's your fault. Don't blame us for lying to you and saying, no, you're the only one for me, baby. Don't get mad at us. You're the ones who have a problem with it, so you're the bad ones. Mm-hmm. So it's clear that these guys were doing it. And so Hijab, as far as what he believes is right and wrong and what he believes Islam teaches, he's done nothing wrong. You're pointing out the only reason for him to hide this and cover it up is because he knows from experience his first wife will leave him, because she did it before when she found out he's got a side wife, and she finds out about it was secret, and she's like, I'm done, I'm out of here. He eventually wins her back. I'm sorry, I'll never do it again. I will never do this again. I swear by the great God Allah, I will never do it again. And then he instantly starts doing it again. And then this woman is threatening to expose him, so he can't just say, yeah, of course, yeah, and I changed. I didn't like her very much, and so I divorced her. Can't say that, because he'll be in trouble and will let the cat out of the bag. That's what you're saying? That's the real reason that he can't let this?
Obviously, that's some interpretation on my part, but all the evidence seems to point that way. That interview, the Secret Wives episode of Bitter Truth, we thought it was really crazy and damaging when it came out, but in retrospect, every time Hijab is talking about a hypothetical or whatever, he's really talking about himself. So when he's like, some women, they just want to destroy you and they want to take your kids away, and that's why you have to keep it a secret. So that's what he is talking about, right? He's talking about himself there, and that detail was definitely explicitly given in the Behind Veils series of videos that Muhammad Hijab's wife had tried to take the kids away before. So it just shows, so many of the things in that video is just Hijab telling on himself. It wasn't super obvious at the time. We suspected it, but now it's like super obvious in retrospect. That's exactly what's going on. So as the saga goes on, so they released the first video with the accusations, a channel which is not from Muhammad Hijab, even though he tweeted, here's my response to this, and so on and so forth. A channel with an AI narrator, or at least a voice changer. Some debate as to how exactly the voice came out, because it does kind of sound like Muhammad Hijab and its mannerisms and whatnot. But in any case, a channel with an anonymous channel comes out and denies things, tries to character assassinate Aisha primarily, but they also invoke another individual named Mohammed Torana, a occasional visitor to Speaker's Corner, someone they know from the Dawa scene, who's appeared on Ali Dawa's show and Muhammad Hijab's show a few times in the past. He's not like super famous or super regular, but connected to them. They tried to invoke his name to say that, this is all made up. He was tricked into it. Problem is, for not Muhammad Hijab, Behind Veils had not said who it was connected to. Muhammad Hijab reveals who the secret witness was here. So Torana had tried to intervene, as it's revealed, as the story develops. He had tried to intervene. Aisha had found him. He was a teacher of Muhammad Hijab. He was a teacher of Ali Dawa, a friend. Muhammad Hijab had confided in him about the problems of his marriage in the past, which is how the information we were just talking about was revealed. And then Behind Veils got a hold of him, figured it out, and had interviewed him. And that's how they knew that this was definitely true, because there was a well-respected member of the Islamic community. They call him Sheikh. I don't think he technically has that title, but out of respect, they call him Sheikh Muhammad or Shik Torana. And he testified to everything. He personally sought out who the secret witnesses that Muhammad Hijab had used, talked to them, got everything confirmed, and he brokered a behind-the-scenes solution. He would get Muhammad Hijab to issue a formal apology to Aisha, saying that what he did was wrong and he understands that, and so on and so forth. And she would appear on Ali Dawa's program, talk about the situation, but keep it anonymous, not say who was involved, et cetera, et cetera.
And so, hang on. So this was, so the plan for this was meant to sort of give her what she kind of wants out of all this. She wants to, she has found out what's going on in the Dawa community, how this is messed up, how these guys are marrying these secret second, third, fourth wives and justifying it. And they're just using them. Basically they're using them like prostitutes. She finds out this is going on and they all justify this. So she, at kind of a bare minimum, she wants to inform other people about this. And that's kind of the idea of going on the Ali Dawa show. Okay.
Yeah, she wants women to be aware of this kind of thing going on, and she wants someone to say that it's wrong, that this anonymous person shouldn't have done it, that this is not Islam. You and I might disagree and say this is part of Islam, but that was her perspective, that this is not real Islam, this is not something that's proper, and so she wanted those two things: apology from hijab.
I have to say. I blast away at Islam. We blast away at Islam and so on. I have to say, I can see how you can justify all of this in Islam, but it looks like hijab and Ali, they kind of go with like, what is the bare minimum I am absolutely required to do? Which isn't necessarily like the goal of what you should be doing, even according to Islam. In other words, I would look at this and I would say, I mean, I can see it. I see the Muta thing and so on, but you're talking about Muslim women. It seems, and the Muslim sources are really disturbing, but it seems like even according to Islam, you should be trying a little harder than what these guys are trying. And so, anyway, so this is wild stuff. When I'm sitting there, thinking, "Gosh, man, you're even worse." You're even worse than I think your sources tell you should be. That's messed up. But these guys become the heroes. Anyway, sorry to interrupt. I just wanted to
No, that's absolutely correct. There is like a legitimate argument to be made that, maybe technically you can find justification for it. You can find fiqh or rulings that would justify your behavior, but it's certainly, the argument would go, it's certainly not the intent of the way things have set up for people to be able to just play games where they enter a marriage knowing that they're going to divorce someone in a week and the other party has no idea about it. So I can certainly see a good argument as to why this would not be in the spirit of, even what we would call very depraved Islamic teachings, even those much worse than is allowed. Any case, so that agreement comes to place, that she'll have the chance to make people aware of this situation, kind of speak out against it. the interview was eventually leaked on Behind Veils, so we know that Ali Dawa was kind of saying that this isn't right, this kind of thing shouldn't happen, be aware of it, don't trust any of the Dawa guys, don't trust anyone, right? Make sure that you do things Islamically proper, where you have a proper wali or guardian in place to ensure that you're not being taken advantage of by the men, because men are disgusting in Islam and they will do that. They will take advantage of you if you don't have your protection. So make sure to have that in place. After he did the interview, he showed it to Muhammad Hijab, and Muhammad Hijab spiked it. He said, don't release this, delete it. This can never be seen by anyone. And so Ali Dawa did. He deleted it. And then Aisha was in desperation mode. This was already like a year or so into her trying to get justice, maybe a year and a half as much. In desperation mode, started to reach out to people like David, or attempting to anyway, tweeting at them and saying, I have some very sensitive information about Muhammad Hijab. I desperately need help. And then they'll try to use that against her later. But it was in desperation. It was after Ali Dawa betrayed her, didn't release the video he said he was going to release, and she didn't know what to do. But somehow she managed to get in touch with Salman from Behind Veils. They did an investigation. They spent 8 months verifying all the facts of the matter, gave Hijab the opportunity to resolve it behind closed doors, not have it become public, and he refused. In the final saga of the chapter of the Behind Veils thing, the reason why they ended up going public with it is because Muhammad Hijab started to blackmail Shik Torana, started to tell him that if you go public with this, your career will be over. You'll be destroyed. What I need from you is I need a statement that you were tricked, that you had nothing to do, that you have no idea what happened, and so on and so forth. That once you looked into it more, you realized that Aisha was just lying, and yeah, you said something originally, but you were tricked into it. So he said that if you don't do this by tonight at midnight, I will start revealing things about you. And then we learned from Ali Dawa in the last chapter of the original segment that what the accusations against Shik Torana are. The exact day that he was that he sent a blackmail threatening message, Muhammad Hijab sent a message to Shik Torana saying that this was going to happen. He apparently also contacted Ali Dawa and said, bad news, Shik Torana has been accused by multiple women of sexual harassment and sexual abuse, and it looks real bad. It can reflect back on our Dawa organization. We got to cut ties with him right away. So Ali Dawa, in his infinite genius.
Hang on. So Shik Torana is he has inside knowledge of what's going on. He's trying to help behind the scenes. It's like, okay, I don't want to ruin Islam. I don't want to ruin this guy's career. He's very important in the Dawa and so on. He's one of my students. This woman here, she has concerns. How can I navigate this situation to where Hijab isn't exposed and his career isn't ended? And how can I basically get her to back off? Like what is she requiring here? And she's okay with him not being exposed and humiliated and his Dawa career being affected, as long as she gets to warn people and she gets a behind the scenes apology. So he apologizes, and women of the world, women of the Ummah are warned that they're that to watch out for the Dawa guys, because this is what the Dawa guys are doing. So this is all going to be taken care of behind the scenes, then behind veils. Then Ali Dawa doesn't post his thing, and so she hasn't been able to inform Muslim women about what these Dawa guys are doing. So she gets in touch with Behind Veils. They try to deal with this behind the scene, and they're talking to Shik Torana, and then Muhammad Hijab lets Shik Torana know, after he's given some information, hey, you have to say, here's what you have to say, or I will destroy your life. And then he actually does contacts Ali Dawa. Oh my goodness, this Shik Torana, he's doing all this stuff, which could be true stuff, could be made up stuff. It could be, hey, well, I'll show you that we can make up stuff about you or something like that. Or this is, it really seems like not in this specific situation, but at least behind the scenes in the Dawa community, that it's like Jeffrey Epstein, right? Jeffrey Epstein's doing all sorts of messed up stuff, but he's also keeping records of stuff that other people are doing, which he can use in the event that he's about to be exposed. Hey, yeah, Senator such and such. We got an issue here. People are about to accuse me of this and charge me. I got some tapes of you, so you're going to want to clean that up, or you're going to be exposed too. So it seems like you've got all these Dawa guys, and they're all keeping tabs on each other, information on each other, so that in the event that one of them is accused of something, they all have to cover for the dude, or they'll all get exposed. And under no circumstances can anyone speak out against someone else, because guess what? You've been doing stuff too. And Hijab, I mean, he said he would estimate at least 85% of the Dawa guys were doing these polygamous marriages and so on. And he's laughing about it and so on. But I mean, think about that. How much these guys are like passing around their hotel wives and stuff. Yeah, I'm going to marry her for a few months and then you can have her after me and stuff like that. They're passing around hotel wives and so on. They have all kinds of dirt on each other, right? They have all sorts of stuff. And so, hey guys, if I ever go down for anything, you're all going down. So you'd better protect me, which is exactly what Ali Dawa instantly does and so on. So this is just, this is like seriously, massively dysfunctional. I mean, Thaddeus, imagine the Christian communities like that. Like we're all like,
right.
We're all hiring prostitutes and stuff behind the scenes, but we all know we're doing it. And so, hey, Thaddeus, you better keep your mouth shut about what I'm doing. And if anyone ever accuses me of doing something, you better cover for me and be my alibi and witness on my behalf, or I'll expose you too. And it's like, this is sick, evil stuff, man. This is seriously dysfunctional stuff. Okay, so you were getting to the topic of Ali Dawa. I wanted to make sure I had all of that correct, because we've been through the previous videos and stuff, and it's just like it's hard to keep a timeline in my mind. But okay, I think I got it.
Yep, everything's good there. So Ali Dawa releases a video, basically character assassination against Torana, which is so ironic because him and Hijab previously used him as their proof that Hijab was innocent. Now they're saying he's a creepy guy. He has his own problems with women and so on and so forth. And it couldn't be blackmail because it happened before the Behind Veils video was released. Obviously not understanding what the word blackmail means. It's Ali Dawa, so I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt here that he literally just doesn't understand what blackmail means. He thinks that it's like making up lies about someone or something.
No, blackmail, that's like the man of Al Zut, right? You talking about the Al Zut? Anyway.
Yep. Something along that line. So Hijab told him, you've been accused of blackmail. So he makes this long video saying, I swear by Allah, I never blackmailed anyone. But that was never the accusation. It was that Muhammad Hijab did. So that was a month ago. And a couple days ago, Behind Veils dropped a new video, and they took some time. Unlike, Hijab or Ali Dawa, they don't just run with something the second they hear it. They took some time, did some investigation, dug up some dirt on Ali Dawa, confirmed it, and now they issue their response to the video about Shik Torana, dropping some accusations against Ali Dawa, and then promising much more to come.
All right, so this brings us up to where we're at now. We're going to go through the new Behind Veils video about Ali Dawa. And as you pointed out, they did wait a while. They clearly did their investigation and so on. But yeah, so the Behind Veils guys and Aisha, I've said this before, but they're like a manipulator's nightmare, right? Because if you're Muhammad Hijab or Ali Dawa or any of these guys, you know you can get away with this for a long time, right? You know you can get, in your mind, you could get away with this forever, right? I mean, just imagine you've got your wife, and then you've got these secret wives that you're marrying and just treating like prostitutes behind the scenes. You're just my hotel wife. That's all. You're a booty call to me. That's it. That's all you are in my life. But these women want homes and families and so on, and relationships with their husband and stuff. Nope, this is all you are. The woman can't come forward and say, "Hey, I'm I'm basically a prostitute to this guy. But why? Because the guy can say, oh, I don't even like you. You're terrible in bed. And yes, you're a hotel wife. Look at this. Are you going to listen to this hotel wife? And she's just jealous because I divorced her because she didn't satisfy me. And the guy can say all these things, and it doesn't hurt the guy's relation. These guys brag about treating women like this. They brag about being these guys who are going around banging all these women. That's cool for them, right? It's the woman's reputation that's trashed, right? Mm-hmm. And the woman doesn't want to do this, and she knows the entire ummah will turn against her, and she knows she'll be accused of trying to bring down the Dawa, and she's serving Satan and so on. And so there's no way for her to win. Guess what? These guys know that. They know that they have these women in a position of vulnerability where they can horribly abuse them, and there's nothing the woman can do about it, because they'll sick the entire ummah on them, and their lives will be ruined forever. And they get reputations as, hey, this just is an angry hotel wife trying to get back at her ex-husband and so on. And so they know that, and so they can get away with it. Eventually, you get to someone like Aisha, and that doesn't work with her. And it's okay. You're going to trash her to the ummah. You're going to insult her. You're going to lie about her, and she's going to keep coming after you. That's terrifying. That's terrifying to a manipulator. All your tricks, all the tricks that you use, they don't work with someone like that. And then it's the same thing with the behind veils guys, right? It's, if you was going after me, then I was going to make a video attacking you. And they're like, okay, we're still going to come after you. We're still coming after you no matter what you do. But I was going to make a video insulting you. Okay, we're still coming after you. Now what?
Right.
And that's just all the tricks you had for keeping people under your control, they don't work now. And so, guys, the ummah is panicking right now. There's a reason you don't see more people calling out hijab on this and so on. They're all doing messed up stuff behind the scenes. And so they're all in panic mode right now, because it's like a Me Too thing where if one woman comes forward and she actually succeeds in exposing someone, there are going to be other women who are like, you know what? They are doing bad stuff, and I'm one of them. And you know what? I'm going to speak out too. So these guys are in total panic mode right now. And guess what? It's exactly what's happening. It's exactly what's happening. Muhammad Hijab and keep in mind, he's been doing this for who knows how long with who knows how many women, probably dozens or something like that, because they just toss him aside anytime he wants. But Muhammad Hijab gets called on this, and then he calls in his help from Ali Dawa. Ali Dawa, you have to help me discredit all these people. And so Ali Dawa helps, and I know, I'll go after the behind veils guys, and I'll show they'll not to come after you anymore. Yeah, now isn't it? And what happens? It doesn't work. And actually, Ali Dawa is pretty easy finding out you've been doing the same exact thing, you little pathetic pervert, you.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd say one of the major revelations, at least for me, from this whole saga wasn't that these guys are doing bad things. I mean, that was not a surprise by any means, but was how much evidence they're all collecting on each other, how there's no trust within the Dawa community. I can't imagine, like, if I was speaking to a Christian pastor for the first time, I would trust him, right? Even if I didn't know him personally, let alone my friends that I've worked with before. But they're all recording each other in secret. They're all keeping evidence. They're all collecting stuff so that they can use it against it. And I will say that even on Ali Dawa's channel, even on the Not Muhammad Hijab channel, Muslims in the comments are by and large against it, right? They're by and large think this is terrible, this is horrible, it's wrong behavior. And yet you don't see any Dawa guys coming out and saying that. You'd think at least for self-interest, someone would come forward and say, hey, I'm going to be the champion and expose these creeps, right? But
it's self-interest. It's self-interest,
right.
Thaddeus.
It is
it's self-interest,
exactly.
But yeah. Well, horribly.
They can't, because they're all doing the same thing, is the point there.
Yeah, and so guys, this is actually a weird sort of scenario, because I'm really not interested in what these guys. I've always assumed these guys are doing messed up, creepy stuff behind the scenes, because it always things always eventually slip out, and so when you hear them, I've never been really interested in this stuff, except insofar as these are the guys who are claiming to be the pillars of morality, and they're here to save the rest of us from being so immoral and so on. there it's kind of relevant. But in this situation, it is just messed up that they have this basically an entire system in place. It's like, I mean, it's like the Epstein mentality takes over the entire Dawa community of they're all doing this behind the scenes and so on, and you don't want them to get away with it. It's like, Muslim women are still women, they're still human beings, and they're being horribly abused. And if their own community isn't going to help them, then other people need to help them. Other people need to step in and help them. And even in this situation where you do have some people like the Behind Veils guys and so on, who are willing to call out these guys, there's a huge power and influence imbalance there. The Dawa guys have way more pull, way more influence and so on, as far as silencing people and just drowning out their voices and criticisms and so on. So we're here to help a bit and so on, because it's also a serious issue. That, matter of fact, let me just go ahead and play a quick clip of Ali Dawa here. Here's another reason that, even though I seriously don't care what these guys are doing behind closed doors and so on, but it is a concern because of issues like this.
You asked me, would I allow my daughter to get married at night? I'm saying the analogy is wrong, because our teachers the woman has to be sexually, mentally, and physically ready. That means if my daughter wants to menstruation, hold on, let me finish. If my daughter reached the age of menstruation at 9 years old, I would say you are ready. You are ready to get married.
All right, so think about this. Now, one, we pointed out many times in the past, he's actually being better than his sources require right there. He's saying if she reaches menstruation. The Quran does not require menstruation. In fact, Muhammad Hijab points out in a video that menstruation is not required to have sex with a girl. And we've got these videos of Muhammad Hijab where he's talking to Sneaker and he's like, oh, imagine a girl, she's like 13, but she got nice wide hips. Yeah, you're telling me you wouldn't want that, and stuff. But think about this. It's not just that these guys have their hotel wives and so on. You've got the Dawa community, and these guys have daughters. And these guys believe that it's perfectly acceptable to have sex with a 6, 7, 8-year-old, 9-year-old, and so on. But they understand you got to keep it secret, and you got to keep it secret from, your wives and so on. It would not be surprising at all if these guys are passing their daughters around to each other, because that's how sick and evil they are. Anyway, I'm pointing that out. I'm saying if you have a bunch of guys and they believe that, yeah, I can have my main official wife, but I can be doing all this stuff on the side just in hotels with my secret wives that no one knows about. And they also believe that it's okay to have sex with little girls. Okay, there's some. Let me put it this way. I'm sure there's serious, massive, messed up pedophilic abuse going on behind the scenes. I just don't know how widespread it is. I just don't know how common that is. I know it's common for these guys to have secret second wives and polygamous marriages and so on. We know that's common because Hijab admitted how common it is. Hijab admitted how common it is. I don't know to what extent this involves younger girls and things like that. So this isn't a situation where you could just say, well, I don't care what they're doing behind closed doors. They're doing some messed up evil stuff behind closed doors to women and girls who are created in the image of God and who should be treated better. And if they've developed an entire system for keeping these girls in a state where they think this is fine and normal and this is acceptable to treat them this way, then you got to bring down Islam as well in the process, because this is sick, evil stuff. All right.
Yeah, two things on that real quick. One, Ali Dawa has shown great interest in single mothers for himself personally. You can draw your own conclusions about what that might mean, why he's so interested in single mothers. I wouldn't normally think it meant anything, but you can't give these guys the benefit of the doubt, sadly. And two, it's a documented fact that most women who get into this Misar marriage, if you want to call it a marriage situation, in Egypt, especially, where it's very popular for rich businessmen from the Gulf Coast to vacation. They vacation in Egypt. They usually get into it around between like ages 12 and 14. Their poor families sell them into it, basically. They see it as an opportunity for income. And it's not uncommon for one of these girls to have 20, 30, 40 marriages before she turns 18, or at least before she leaves her parents' house. Most men probably aren't all that interested in someone who is 9, but I'm sure there is availability for a man who would be interested. Let's put it that way.
All right, well, guys, we're going to go through this new Behind Veils video where this one's directed towards Ali Dawa specifically, and what an evil, lying scumbag. We already knew this about Ali Dawa, but there's stuff we didn't know about Ali Dawa in here. So we're going to check this out. We'll take these first few super chats real quick, and then we'll jump right into the video. From the perspective of Ibn Masud, set to Jolene. Oh, the song Jolene, Dolly Parton. I only know the chorus. I know it's Jolene, 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 Jolene. I don't know how the rest of it goes, so I don't know the word. Anyway, Al-Zut, 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 Al-Zut. A group of them stood ready and naked. Al-Zut, 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 Al-Zut. All night long it was they mounted Muhammad. I hope that was close. Well, was that close, man?
I have no idea. I don't know the song.
You don't know Jolene? I would have assumed that you're an undercover hillbilly. Ida says a sparkling diamond. I don't know what that's a reference to. Things that didn't exist until about 150 years ago. The automobile, the telephone, and Islamic apologists. They didn't need them back then when they were just everything was conquering. Like the AI overview to keep it up like Al-Zut. Yep, it's going to be there. Oh, it's saying like that, they're saying like that overview to keep that there. That is funny. Question for David. Do you think Christians worship the same God of Muslim? Obviously no. But normally when someone asks me that, I say, figure out what you mean. If you mean we both believe in a creator, you could say the same God in that sense, because you have to figure out where you're like drawing the line. Because like if Thaddeus believes something different from what I believe about God, or it's something God did, would you therefore say we believe in two different gods, something like that? So normally we'd want to say you can have some difference of belief and still be talking about the same God. But you got to draw a line somewhere when you're saying, okay, you guys are talking about a different God here. Islam definitely seems to cross that line. So, but I would still normally when I say, are we both worshiping the same God? Okay, do you mean we both worship a creator, an all-powerful creator or something like that? Maybe some generic sense you could say we're both trying to do the same thing here, but yeah, the God of the Quran is just too massively different from the God of the Bible. On fundamentals, basic fundamentals. So I'd have to say no. Let's see here. What? You think of this Trinity analogy, 3 versions of myself coexist with the same consciousness and will. All are me, yet distinct in knowing. What do you mean 3 versions of yourself coexist with the same consciousness and will? What are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't think that analogy helps any.
Yeah, I don't. Normally in an analogy, you'd be trying to show here's something that is 3 in one way and 1 in another way. And therefore, if this can be, then that. But I don't know in what sense there are 3 of you who all have the same consciousness. Steve Cunningham says, keep up the good work. God bless you and AP. But not Thaddeus, apparently.
Yeah, shame.
No AP today. Also, hi, David and Thad. Yeah, no AP.
He's a traitor.
No, I didn't even ask him because it was me. It was we wanted to go through this to get everyone up to date and so on, and then AP ended up scheduling his own live stream. Traitor. Anyway, I just got here another secret hotel wife. I can't even pretend to be surprised at this point, but God bless. Keep up the good work, all. And seriously, with the situation with these hotel wives, since we know that the vast majority of Muslim women would want to keep that a total secret. Like even if they were totally duped into getting married for 2 weeks or something like that and just being a hotel wife. And so the vast majority of women who would fall for something like that would not want it known that they fell for something like that. So they keep it quiet. So if we're hearing about some of the hotel wives, how many more do you think they are? Right? Probably tons. Ali Dawa in the style of Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs. It drinks the camel urine and applies the sesame oil in it. There we go. Come on, everybody, hit that like button. D Wood demands this live stream get more likes than APs so that cat human will see how powerful we real humans are. Show us the proof. Yes, we do want, whatever else happens, we want this live stream to get way more views and likes than AP's live stream. Because, well, people need to be put in their place and know their place. These guys are like Muhammad. What's next? Are they going to go after the Al-Zut people next? Inshallah, always stay behind the Diddy line. None of that would surprise me. I mean, especially when Muhammad Hijab was sending us those messages. What were those? Hang on. I had those somewhere. Oh, here we go. Yeah, remember when Muhammad Hijab used to send us all these messages like this? You two can play with each other. Get on your knees for T-Wood. T-Wood can give you a golden shower. Go ahead and give T-Wood what they want. Let T-Wood give you a golden shower. Get on your knees for Master Boy. You can suck that. Blah, 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 blah. Look, I know you need a slave. Golden shower. Get on your knees for your master. It's like over and over and over again. Over and over again. And people are having to look this stuff up. I remember when we were live, they're like, I just looked that up, what he's talking about. This is gross. Don't look it up. Don't look it up. Don't look it up. And so anyway, if that's where his mind goes when he's criticizing stuff, it goes to gimps and golden showers and all this stuff, then who knows what this dude's into behind scenes. Just like their prophet, they're doing weird, creepy things behind the scenes. Yes, this is true. This is true. Using a square and a triangle to refute the Trinity is like using apples and oranges to disprove a color. Plus a folded square makes two triangles. Trinity. Yeah, that was, no one's disputing that was just disastrous from beginning to end with Ali Dawa. Like somehow that made sense in his mind, just like, oh, I'll have Smiles to Jenna be dangling grapes in my mouth during my debate. Yeah, that will really impress people. The man's not a tactical genius. So anyway. I was a Muslim until I read the Quran. No way the one true God could be so Islamophobic. That is true. That is true. Ida says it's a super sticker. Oh, okay. Hang on. Going back to what Ida said. I said I didn't get it. Let's go back. All right. I got it. I thought, Ida, I didn't see it said super sticker. It just said sparkling diamond. And I thought, what? I don't understand. What did I say? Okay. Super sticker. Thank you. Thank you for the clarification, Ida. Have you seen the Muta Master song by Sal Resinos yet? No, I don't think I have. I'll have to check it out. Sal is a musical genius, ladies and gentlemen. Muta marriage doesn't make prostitution more moral. It just degrades marriage. It's so stupid, and yet they claim moral superiority. Yeah, that's what Islam does. It just says, okay, here's all the perverted or violent stuff you want to do. We're just going to make it so that God wants you to do all that stuff. That's it. Oh, you want to bang lots of women? Oh, okay. Well, we'll make a religion where you can bang lots of women, and it's all cool with God, and God wants you to do all this stuff. You want to go around slaughtering people and feeling strong, and I'm humiliating them and taking everyone's stuff? You want to be exactly like the mafia in terms of, hey, you got to pay us protection money. You want to be exactly like that and believe it's all from God? Have we got a religion for you? But yep, that's what it does. And then they'll simultaneously be claiming moral superiority. I'm confused about Sunnah 2, keyword strange place. Can you help with this verse? No, not right now. I'm not going to be looking stuff up right now during this. There once was a group of Al-Zut who were naked and black as your boot. They rode Mo like a boon. They even split his full moon. Next morning, Mo said, I'm kaput. This is all very Islamophobic, and I'm glad that someone had pointed out the Islamophobia. If this happened in my family, it'd be a scandal. I bet it would, because you have a good family, Isa, which we can tell by you being very nice and well adjusted. So we can tell your family did not massively mess you up. Anyway, all right, guys, let's go ahead and jump into this video. Anything else before we jump into this?
Nope. I think we're ready.
All right, guys. Here we have it, the latest from Behind Veils.
There's a point when silence becomes complicity, and there's a point when deflection becomes deception. Today, I'm responding to a person who has built his entire defense around diversions, deflections, and both spiritual and emotional theatrics.
That could pretty much describe just about anyone in the Dawa community.
Yeah, it's a mystery who he's talking about for sure so far.
Yeah. That's messed up when you could describe someone deception and theatrics and abuse and everything. You're like, well, that could be like every person I know in the Dawa scene.
None other than Ali Dawa.
There we go. It's Ali
Just
Dawa.
a month back, Ali published another video trying to shoot back against damning revelations in the Muhammad hijab case. One may have been led into believing he had a legit explanation for everything that was revealed, and that somehow I had engaged in taking a false oath and twisting the story. But today, we peel back another layer of Ali Dawa's theatrics and his usage of smoke and mirrors, while continuing in his relentless path of diversion, deflection, and deception.
He said pulling back layers. It's like, that's what you get with Dawa, ladies and gentlemen. Dawa's like an onion. You just keep peeling back layer after smelly layer until you're just left with tears streaming down your face. It is interesting because when he's saying that Ali Dawa may have actually convinced some people, I'm thinking who? There was a very, very brief time when it came out that they accused her of doctoring a screenshot, of photoshopping a screenshot. And that circulated, right? And I didn't look into it. I just said everyone's, we've exposed her as a liar for doctoring this screenshot and so on. There was a brief time when I was like, these guys may have a point and she may be making some stuff up. I still thought it was obvious she's telling the truth about some stuff, but I was like, oh, she may be crossing the line and getting desperate and fabricating stuff and so on. Once it was shown that that was fake, that they're the ones who photoshopped the screenshot to try and to discredit her and that they made it up, there was never even 1 second I trusted any of the guys on the Muhammad hijab side after that. Like nothing. Like, there's nothing they said. Even when, we did a deeper dive into the Shik Torana thing and now it's going to explode. Like, I don't believe a word you guys are saying after this. I already thought you guys are a complete liar, but when I saw how far you guys were willing to go, that you're going to like Photoshop stuff and accuse her of Photoshop, I was like, oh, they're going full evil. They're going full deception, like no holds barred. We will say anything to cover this up. Once you've shown your true colors like that, then yeah. So anyway, point here is no, there was no point after that where we were taking Ali Dawa seriously. I guess you could say among his fans there may have been some people who were falling for it, but anyone who's watching remotely closely was not believing. The talking behind the veils guys and Aisha, like there is a massive credibility difference there. Just massive.
Soon after the video was published highlighting how Shik Torana was blackmailed by hijab, the comments began flooding not just our own channel, but also on Ali Dawa's. Being in panic mode, he quickly began deleting many comments while also responding to some. Soon Behind the Veils is going to need veils. Just give us a few days and everything is going to make perfect sense, alhamdulillah.
That's Ali Dawa, the guy who brought you, getting graped in the mouth. I like getting graped in the mouth. And look, this is a square and this be a triangle. Yeah, look, you put it together and make like a house. Yeah, that tactical genius tried to be witty here. Soon Behind the Veils is going to need veils. Oh, so witty, Ali Dawa.
Don't worry, we was just waiting for Salman to come up with these allegations. The final nail in the coffin coming very soon. Once you guys find out why our ex-teacher was really in hospital and why we really distant ourselves from him, Salman jaw's going to drop.
By the way, it's funny. He was reading the grammatical. That's what I do, right? When people are making everything and it's all grammatically incorrect, I read it and then it's funny. But he did that with Ali Dawa. That's funny.
Yeah, sadly, on the rest of these, he reads it as intended to write. But that time he did actually read it as written. So I don't know if he did that on purpose or if he just accidentally did it. But either way, I thought it was hilarious. And he kind of slips a tiny bit into like Ali Dawa's mannerisms as he's reading the comments. You know, he's not really mocking him. He's not doing it like the way you would, for example, or I would. But he does kind of slip into Ali Dawa's mannerisms a little bit. It's kind of funny.
Hey, all you guys over at Behind Veils, if you need anyone to read Ali Dawa's tweets for you, send me a message, send me the tweets. I'll do it. It would be way more effective if you guys are completely serious and deadpan. And now we're going to look at some of Ali Dawa's tweets, and then it pops up on the screen. Then Assalamu alaikum on it. Salman about the fourth artist seat, yeah. And it would just be. Your views are triple. Your views are triple with that because it'd be simultaneous. It'd also be funny.
I agree.
About to fall off his seat. The truth will leave you gobsmacked. But it didn't stop there. Just a few days ago, Ali Dawa sent me a direct message on WhatsApp. Salamu alaikum, Salman. You've gone quiet all of a sudden. Will you be investigating the allegations and evidences against Torana? I thought you would defend his name at any cost. I told you. You've made your whole dunya. May Allah heal you so you rid yourself of his rage and fake piousness.
So dunya was like worldly stuff, but dunya is also the name of Salman's ex-wife or something like that. Is that
yes, that is correct.
I've picked that up correctly at some point, right?
Yes, that is correct. And this is a really revealing message here, right? So Ali Dawa put out that video, the one that Salman's going to be addressing here and the one I described earlier. And then he sends this threatening tweet or mocking tweet, or not tweet, sorry, direct message a month later saying, you've gone quiet. What's wrong with you? I thought that you were going to defend Tirani no matter what, because that's what I would do. I would defend my buddy no matter what. There's this big dilemma. Why are you not doing anything? And it's like, because he's actually looking into the accusations and seeing if they're true or not.
Tactical geniuses, man. The whole Dawa crew.
I swear upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Uqsum billah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala curse me if I have ever blackmailed Muhammad Tarani. Wallahi, billahi, uqsum billah. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to deal with me if I blackmailed or I was involved in something to hush him or something he knew.
So
just to be clear, Muhammad Hijab blackmailed Shik Torana into backtracking on what he had disclosed. And Behind Veils discloses this. They show that Muhammad Hijab blackmailed. And then so Ali Dawa gets on I swear by Allah, I didn't blackmail him. All to make it's like these are the things that are made for like the vast majority of people who aren't following closely. And so they aren't following the Behind the Veils videos and stuff like that. And so they would look at this and go, oh, people are accusing Ali Dawa of blackmailing this sheikh, but Ali Dawa swearing by Allah, so we know we can trust him. Why would he be saying this? We know we can trust him when it's all smoke screen. It's all smoke and mirrors. He wasn't even the one accused. I'm getting this right?
Yeah. So, I mean, there's two possibilities. Either Ali Dawa intentionally is deceiving here, or someone like Hijab told him that he was accused of blackmail, and he was just so stupid that he actually believed it. It's like, I'm going to respond. I didn't blackmail anyone. So you take your pick which one it is, stupidity or malice. It's always hard to tell if Ali Dawa for sure.
He does make it difficult.
And Shik Torana never said you blackmailed him. He said he.
Oh, people called him out in the comment on his own video.
His own comment, yes.
Oh, so he said, P.S. Salman and Shik Torana never said you blackmailed him. He said Hijab did. Yeah, so Ali Dawa, come out. It's very simple, Ali Dawa. You and Muhammad Hijab come out and swear that Muhammad Hijab never blackmailed Shik Torana. We'll definitely believe you guys because we think you guys are men of truth who always say what things that are completely true and would never lie.
Hijab did.
I have an opportunity, a obligation to clear my name. I've never blackmailed him.
Let's make something absolutely clear, Adi.
That's
no
actually
one
my
said you
favorite part.
blackmailed.
What's that?
That's my favorite part of Ali Dawah's video, and I want to just stop it because someone doesn't really address it, but he says, all this is happening, and then suddenly I see this opportunity. I mean, obligation to expose Shik Torana and clear our Muhammad Hijab's name. So he doesn't. Someone doesn't actually comment on it, but the moron had a Freudian slip there. Said opportunity instead of obligation, and then didn't even edit it out of his own video.
Hang on.
Subhanahu wa ta'ala to deal with me if I blackmailed or I was involved in something to hush him or something he knew.
Salman and Shik Torana never said you blackmailed him. He said Hijab did.
I have an opportunity, a obligation.
Oh, okay. You're saying, you guys catch that? So he was about to say, I have an opportunity to expose him, but I have an obligation. He switched it, right?
Clear my name. I've never blackmailed him.
Let's make something absolutely clear, Adi. No one said you blackmailed Shik Torana. Cut out the sobbing theatrics as if all of a sudden you're the victim.
Poor Ali.
We said Muhammad Hijab is the one who blackmailed him. And guess who confirmed that?
Unfortunately, this brother Muhammad Hijab, he started blackmailing me.
So Adi, all your oaths, your drama, your whining, all deflection. You're pretending to be the accused, all in an effort to draw sympathy and distract the public, when you were never even the target. Or maybe it's just your guilty conscience that kicked in, especially with you knowing that Muhammad Hijab was going to start exposing Shik Torana.
He's gonna expose things about me.
I'm sure the claim is Hijab blackmailed him and not you. The claim is that you knew that Hijab has done this and you're playing cover-up.
Okay, so it just sucks that we have to be so meticulous and clarifying everything that's being said, guys, but you're dealing with people who are going to use smoke and mirrors at every turn. So everyone needs to keep, because guys, this is not done. Trust me, this is not done. There's more coming out. Trust me on that. I'm not a prophet, but I'm telling you in advance, more stuff is coming out. That's the main reason we're talking about this right now, is because you need to be ready for more stuff that's about to come out. You need to be correct on all the details, and you need to be doing what people are doing in the comments there. So that's, hats off to everyone who's going and correcting Ali Dawa in his own videos and so on. Muhammad Hijab blackmailed a sheikh into backtracking on what he said in order to cover for Hijab. The accusation is that Hijab blackmailed a sheikh, and it really looks like Ali Dawa knows about it the entire time. Looks like Ali Dawa knows about it the entire time. And then Ali Dawa was like, but I never blackmailed him though, so I swear by Allah that I never blackmailed him in it. And what is that? What are you responding to? What are you're responding to something that no one has accused you of, Ali Dawa. Hang on, we got something weird going on. Hang on. What is this? What is it? What is this? What are you doing here, dude? You got your own live stream. Are you just coming over here to try and tell people to go to your dumb live stream when no one likes you?
Oh yeah, join my live stream. Now, no, I actually canceled my live stream because I noticed that you're also going live, and I thought I cannot be like that. I cannot pull all those viewers away from David Wood's live stream, so I better cancel mine and redirect everyone to his instead. So yeah,
all those mean things I said about AP, I took them all back.
Yeah, what you believe what AP just said right there? So,
but no, I'm just kidding. That's actually not why I canceled. I canceled for a completely different reason.
I know. That's why I was like, obviously, because that was obviously a bogus reason right there.
Yeah, powerful.
Okay, so AP, we are just going through the new Behind Veils video where Ali Dawa was pretending to respond to an accusation against him that literally no one raised. So they accused Muhammad Hijab of blackmailing a sheikh, and then Ali Dawa, I swear by the great God Allah that I did not blackmail anyone. I didn't do it. It was not me. It wasn't me, Lisa. Anyway.
I did not hit her.
I did not hit her. I did not blackmail him. So anyway, we're going through this, and our good buddies from Behind Veils is just wrecking Ali Dawa, and the comments on his own videos are completely destroying him. But back to this.
Honestly, why is everyone so dumb? The whole video is saying Ali never blackmailed Muhammad Torana. Fine, but the actual accusation was not that Ali Dawa blackmailed Muhammad Torana. It was that Muhammad Hijab did. Subhanallah, how is everyone so stupid? So Ali can make 1,000 oaths, and yeah, it's true, because he was not involved in that particular issue. But the whole premise wasn't that he did. The whole thing was that it was Muhammad Hijab did, not Ali. It's a sad state of affairs for the Ummah that these online guys are now just the new celebrities that the poor, uneducated Ummah look up to. It's really just the Muslim version of reality TV shows, where the celebrities benefit by being popular and make money while the masses get dumber and waste their time. Ali is also a master of taking one point and making a 30-minute video about it whilst conveniently disregarding everything else. That's not a W.
Yo, seriously? I mean, it just, right now is when it hit me, like the parallel to what they do in Dawa. Dawa is basically pretending to give a response when you're not, right? You pretend to give a case when it sounds like you're giving a case. You're showing how confident you are, which makes people who aren't paying attention think you're giving a case, but you're not really answering anything. You're not really answering any objections and so on. You're just pretending to. But that's, Ali Dawa just takes the skills of a da'i and applies them to a scandal. And, oh, I pretended I was answering all this, yeah? And it's funny because it's not working. People are like, no one said that, dude. Why are you responding to something, making a 30-minute video responding to something that no one said? It looks like you're just being deceptive and trying to act like you're responding to it, which, by the way, guys, that's what Dawa is. Anyway.
But what if he was just trying to make sure that he's going to, that he responds to something that he thought might be said in the future?
That's true.
This is a
preemptive. I'm preemptively answering the criticism. Yeah. What were you saying, Thaddeus?
These are the comments on his video, right? These are people that would be the most receptive of any people to what he is saying. And many of these have dozens of upvotes, and these are the ones that he didn't delete. So it looks really bad, right? It looks really bad for him. His own community is seeing through his nonsense.
They beat me. They beat me in the comments section.
They beat me in the desert, yeah?
They beat me in the desert and in the comments section.
Why did Salman find the need to twist the story and release audio recordings, which I have messages, which we're going to hear recordings right now, of Muhammad Torana claiming that Salman took an oath by Allah that he's not recording him?
Let me make it absolutely clear. I never took any oath with respect to this. Not once. In fact, I take an oath by Allah right now that I never took such an oath. And I'll attribute Shik Torana's mention of it to a lapse in memory. Nothing more. What Ali Dawa fails to mention because he didn't do his investigative research properly is that I had multiple conversations with Shik Torana spanning across multiple weeks. Did you catch that, Ali? Multiple conversations. If you're having a hard time comprehending that, let me provide some visual assets to help reinforce and infuse that into your comprehension.
Oh, visual assets. Yeah, let me see them. Is it going to be a triangle and a square?
Allow me to repeat. I had multiple conversations and text message exchanges with Shik Torana spanning multiple weeks. Not once, not twice, not thrice, not 4 times, not 5, but a total of 6 different conversations.
That's this many.
Hours and hours of discussing the case regarding Muhammad Hijab and
Ali
Sister
Dawa,
Aisha.
that's this many, yeah?
Yes, in our first conversation, I told him I was not recording when he specifically asked me about it. That was long before I saw how deeply distressed he had become, especially with him being blackmailed by Muhammad Hijab. It was only after seeing how he was being pressured, manipulated, coerced, and deteriorating emotionally and physically that I began recording. not to harm him, but to protect him, to protect the sister, and to protect the truth.
And that is what will happen, that he ends up being able to use those recordings to the benefit of Shik Torana, to show what was actually going on, not just the forced, blackmailed apology or half apology. He doesn't even really come out against it despite being blackmailed. But regardless, it was able to show the whole thing and show how his honor was attacked by Hijab and Ali Dawa. That said, if you did say in the first conversation that you weren't recording it, the natural assumption would be that you weren't recording the other ones either. So there was at least a tiny bit of deception, I would say, from behind veils in recording these things.
And in defense of behind veils, I mean, it seems like everyone's recording everyone because they all they all understand this is the situation they're in with stuff that's going to happen. This is just massively dysfunctional, man. Anyway, I'm glad the behind veils guys recorded the conversation, because
and I imagine Torana is happy about it as well. But I just wanted to be completely fair and say there was at least a tiny bit of deception on their part recording it. Now, I don't think they would have ever released the clips without permission. I don't think they would have done that. But at least for their own records, they recorded it and proved to be beneficial.
Yep. And really, I mean, yeah. Even if you're not planning on, even if you never end up releasing, it seems like you have to, just given the sheer volume of lies people are willing to. It reminds me of like when I used to have to go to the Dearborn Festival, and even if we didn't want to release footage of certain stuff, we would always have a camera running, even if it's just there in my hand, because there's like chronic lying. There was just this. You'd be walking through the festival, you'd be doing a couple things, and the next day you find out, oh, you did all this stuff, and it's being reported on social media that you did all this stuff, and you're like, I didn't do any of that. And you got to the point where like, I literally need to be recording from before I even walk into this place until I'm going out, so that I can show what was done. And we actually like use that in court. That's what actually saved us in court. Police officers, the mayor, everyone was lying. Everyone is lying. They did this and they were screaming. It's like, show us on the video. We're recording the entire time. And that's why we ended up getting off that stuff. But I mean, it seems like they all understand we have a community where tons of people are very quick to lie. And therefore we always need the receipts. Messed up. Guys, can you imagine if we had to be like that? If every time I was talking to you, Thaddeus, or every time me and AP, every time I'm chatting with AP, I'm like, I got to record this in case he lies about me later. It's so weird.
That's what I do all the time, man. Of all our private conversations, I have a whole disk full of like dated and everything. It's like who was present and so on.
Now people are going to be trying to hack into your stuff. I will have the proof. If I can hack AP stuff, then I can get the proof.
Only did Salman backstab Torana, he threw him under the bus.
You are truly delusional and a master of gaslighting while trying to speak with so much conviction and putting on full display your performative piety.
That's what I was just saying. They're taking all the skills of a da'i and applying to them in this situation, right? Everything you're saying about this is how messed up you are, this is what you do, and you're applying that to what you're doing about this scandal. But every description that Salman gives is like, that is what the Dawa guys are now. That's like a description of what they do. This is creepy, man.
You accused me of backstabbing Shik Torana and throwing him under the bus. But it wasn't me who backstabbed him, was it? It was you that went on a tirade elaborating on allegations and investigations about him. The same man you and Hijab tried to use as evidence, but then quickly turned against him when his testimony backfired and no longer served your purpose. Ani, let me remind you of the message you sent me shortly after the video featuring Torana's testimonies. I was waiting for you to finally...
Wrong.
I was waiting for you to finally release this video, yeah? Now the whole world is going to know some pretty damning stuff about Muhammad Torana, isn't it?
That's how you're supposed to read it.
We released this video. Now the whole world is going to know some pretty damning stuff about Muhammad Torana. What an embarrassment. You accuse Salman of throwing Torana under the bus and proceed to literally do the same thing. This is school playground drama. The fact that you aired the Sheikh's dirty laundry only proves he was being blackmailed.
Let me tell you, brothers and sisters, because Mohammed
This
Taran
is
knew
so weird.
there's an investigation going on before Salman's videos. So we could not orchestrate this. We can't have 10 plus people coming forward of harassment. Organizations I can't name for legal reasons.
You used him when it benefited you, then threw him to
Hold
the
on,
wolves.
man. Hold on.
What's up?
It's so funny because the whole Islamic attitude is all the time that the Ummah is supposed to stick together and trust each other and all that. And here we are seeing right now, as everything unfolds and as everything is the whole dirty laundry is put out, that none of these guys actually trust each other. They're all like plotting behind each other's backs. What the heck?
Yeah, they're all recording and threatening each other and keeping records of each other, of everyone else's dirty deeds and so on. And then, by the way, for anyone who's watching and isn't really understanding why Ali Dawa would attack the Sheikh, right? Attack the Sheikh. Well, Muhammad Hijab and Ali Dawa. Blackmail the Sheikh and then attack the Sheikh and expose the Sheikh and put all this dirty laundry out there. Oh, you can't trust this Sheikh. You can't trust that Sheikh. That goes beyond this mere case. That goes beyond, right? This isn't just about this current case. That is a warning to people in the future. Right? Don't think we won't go through on our threats. We will. We will. If we've got dirt on you and we say, keep your mouth shut or we'll expose you and destroy your career, we mean that. So you have to follow. They have to follow through. This is a message to future whistleblowers who might want to be used to expose stuff and so on. Don't do it. Don't do it, because Ali Dawa will expose and destroy your life. Creepy stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. This is clearly going through with the blackmail, but I just want to clarify the timeline of how Torana got involved here. So the first, as far as public goes, the first Behind Veils video says that they've talked to a sheikh, they've gotten a witness, but they don't name any names. Then Not Muhammad Hijab releases his response to it and says, well, Shik Torana said this, and Shik Torana said that, and Shik Torana. And then after he's been dragged into it by Muhammad Hijab, then Behind Veils acknowledges that Shik Torana was a witness to it. And then after going through the whole saga, in the very last episode, they revealed that Torana had been blackmailed the whole time. They kind of implied it at the start when it was just an anonymous sheikh. They said that like he ended up in the hospital and such. But then they go through the explicit accusations in the last one. And then after that, Ali Dawa releases the video that we're looking at now. So when exactly did Behind Veils throw him under the bus? The only reason they brought up the name and showed the evidence was because Muhammad Hijab had invoked his name and used him as evidence. And then once that was done, Behind Veils defends him, basically, right? They released the clips that show that he was being genuine, that he was being forced into all this and whatnot. Then Ali Dawa literally throws him under the bus, goes through with the blackmail, reveals all the accusations that have been made against him, or at least allegedly been made. We're not actually 100% sure they're even real allegations to begin with. But even if they're real, I mean, that's what blackmail is most effective, right? Someone did something they're embarrassed about or illegal or they don't want anyone to know about, and thus you can use it against them. If you're making it up, it's not nearly as effective as if it's true. So the idea that, oh, it couldn't be blackmail because people came forward with these accusations long ago is just utterly nonsense.
That's really, what a community, man. I wish, this makes me want to convert and become part of this awesome community.
Other hand, protected his name, praised his integrity, despite him being blackmailed. I gave him my word that I would defend him and that I would defend the truth. I'm very disheartened just hearing this, but as I said, subhanAllah, please let me know anything that's happening and I will do my utmost any way that I can to ensure that I defend you and defend the truth, inshallah.
You see, that you defend me, but jazakallah khairan, may Allah reward you.
You see, I actually gave him my word that I would defend him for speaking the truth. Unlike Yuani, who actually attacked him for speaking the truth. all after using him and playing multiple voice notes from him in an effort to support your narrative. But then, all of a sudden, when he was no longer an asset to Team Hijab, you had to, quote, free yourself from him.
If this harassment's a truth, that's the 4th time it's happened. I have to free myself from him.
Absolutely.
I'm so noble. I'm so noble that I has to do the right thing, yeah?
Yeah.
You got the most evil scumbags in the world on Team Hijab, and then talking about how
We have to do the right thing to protect the women's, yeah?
Yeah, he has to free himself of them when he learns of these accusations that he learned about in February by making a video about it in May. Very plausible.
Smart, Ali.
Convenient timing. Use him when he benefits you and discard him when he doesn't. You know, that tactic sounds rather familiar, maybe a bit like Hijab's deceptive marriage to Sister Aisha. Use them when they're of benefit and discard them when they become a liability.
And lastly, the reason I'm doing this video is to free myself of Mohammed Tarane.
If your teacher is not a sheikh and you want to free yourself from him, then why in your earlier videos were you using him as a source to defend Hijab earlier in the scandal?
Wait, hang on. So just tell you I have a problem with a timeline on all this stuff. It's too much stuff. It's too much stuff all at once, Thaddeus. So anyway.
All right.
So hang on. Just to be clear. Ali Dawa is supposedly aware of this stuff about Shik Torana long before they're using him as a reliable source to defend Muhammad Hijab and expose Aisha. And then when it's pointed out that they're blackmailing him, then Ali Dawa say,
Oh, but, I just have to expose this guy because he's evil and can't be trusted.
It's like, wait, anything you knew and anything you were doing was before you were using him as your defense, as your main defense. Okay. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. So there's 3 relevant videos on Muhammad Hijab's side. There's non-Muhammad Hijab video 1, Ali Dawa video, and then Muhammad Hijab video 2. And all 3 of those videos, they play clips from Torana to try to defend Hijab.
I'm going to reveal to you guys why Mohammed Tarane really ended up in hospital and how everything is going to make perfect sense. Not only that, it's going to leave Salman in a big dilemma.
Big dilemma. I'm still failing to comprehend what this so-called big dilemma is.
I've got a big dilemma for you guys. It's on a completely different topic, though. But you can ask me about it later. Ask me about what we call the Islamic dilemma. This is a minor dilemma right here compared to the Islamic dilemma. But
Well, it's very funny, right? Ali Dawa thinks that there's like a dilemma here, but actually all the options are fine for Salman, right? He actually has 3 options. He could just ignore the accusations against Torana and say nothing. You can investigate them and come out and defend him, or he could investigate him and say, yep, he's a creep too. Like, none of those undermine anything he said, right? None of those undermine his own credibility. So there's actually not even a hint of a dilemma, really, because it's Muhammad Hijab who is relying on him as his proof of innocence.
You believe I would find myself in. I literally laid out exactly what you were going to do.
Yes, let me tell you, brothers and sisters, because Mohammed Tarane knew there's an investigation going on before Salman's videos. So we could not orchestrate this. The video that was released by Salman was on the 6th of April. The investigation that started by 2 sisters, not by myself, not by Mohammed Hijab, 2 sisters came forward and an investigation happened. And this is my message. You can see the date, 11th February to Sheikh Mohammed. I'm with my wife, Sheikh, I can't talk as it's a private matter and now involves allegations about you. And now the organization is being brought into this.
You said he ended up in the hospital due to allegations that go back many years. Strange, because February 11th, the day you claim you messaged him about these investigations, is the exact same day he called me in distress, reading out Hijab's blackmailing messages. But you wanted to make it appear to the public that all this happened on or after April 6th, when we published the first video. And since you either have selective memory or manipulative storytelling tactics, maybe you should listen to exactly what Torana read to me on February 11th with regards to the threatening messages that Muhammad Hijab had sent him.
So, Thaddeus. So, these guys tried to use Shik Torana to defend Hijab. Behind Veils posts a video saying, no, Hijab is blackmailing him. Then in response, just make sure, let me know where I'm wrong here. In response, Ali Dawa says, no, Shik Torana was really in the hospital because he found out there's an investigation against him that was going on before all this. This is in February. He found out he's being investigated by the power of the Ummah task force that are sent in to investigate claims of abuse. He found out, and this makes him really, really scared, so scared it traumatizes him and he ends up in the hospital. And this was all before this. So this couldn't have had anything to do with blackmail. This has to be because he was being investigated and he knows he's about to be exposed for all his abuse. And so this was in February, so it can't have anything to do with Hijab blackmailing him. And then behind Veils here, Salman is saying, no, actually, the day that he went to the hospital, the day you're talking about, that's the day he messaged me and he told me that he's being blackmailed. So he's basically got the receipts. No, this is because of the blackmail, and I have the proof that the blackmail was going on back in February. Do I have all of that correct?
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. And let me just add a couple clarifying points. The fact that it's the same exact day, I think, is actually pretty important. I think that Muhammad Hijab probably learned about it, maybe on the 10th, maybe on the 11th, but basically immediately that Behind Veils was doing an investigation. I mean, they found out they were doing an investigation, immediately contacted Torana, said, if you talk to them, you're in big trouble, and simultaneously contacted Ali Dawa and said, I've just learned about all these accusations against Torana, and it's really bad, and so on and so forth. And then Ali Dawa contacts Torana and said, I just learned about a bunch of things against you. I think that Ali Dawa probably didn't know that it was related to blackmail. And the previous Behind Veils videos did not make the timeline clear at all. It was certainly possible for someone who'd watched this whole thing to assume that the blackmail happened after April 6th, after the first video was released. It would have fit in with the timeline. And thus, Ali Dawa decides to make this video, or Muhammad Hijab decides Ali Dawa needs to make this video, and says, we can just say that the blackmail happened, after this time, or the supposed blackmail that never existed happened after this time. And it'll fool everyone because they don't know when these messages took place. And it's a perfect solution to the problem, is to say he couldn't have been blackmailed because he was in the hospital way back in February for learning about these accusations when Ali Dawa contacted him and let him know that the accusations had been made against him. Little did they know that the actual timeline was exactly identical, that it was February 11th when Torana told him he was being blackmailed.
Ali Dawa, you're looking all kinds of stupid right now, bro. All kinds.
Me that blackmail. Initially, he was saying, I will not do nothing. If you didn't stand against me, I will not do nothing. Instead, after the patient, I have run out of patience, and I will be taking necessary steps by midnight tonight, all within bounds of Sharia and law. However, you have one final chance to set things up. By the midnight, you must do the following. Look at what he said. Send me a WhatsApp voice message acknowledging that you misrepresented the situation after hearing only one side, specifically the fabrication of evidence and testimonial or testimonies, and apologize for the harm caused. By then, the next point is inform the reporters the truth, retract your statement, and provide me with a screenshot as a proof. If you fail to do both, I will proceed accordingly without further warning in full compliance with Sharia and law. Phase 1 of the consequence will be set into motion immediately after the deadline.
So Hijab says, midnight tonight, if you do not exonerate me and say, oh, yeah, I was wrong, my bad, I should not have said these things, and I misinterpreted things and I got things wrong, but Muhammad Hijab is as pure as the driven snow. Would never do anything wrong. And if you don't do that by midnight, I'm going to set things in motion, which he then does. And Ali Dawa says,
Yeah, so now he's got to expose you for your evil and wickedness.
that's indisputably blackmail. That's 100% blackmail. You're going to say these things or I'm going to destroy your life. Good stuff.
Indeed, indeed. So Torana does send him a voicemail. It doesn't give him exactly what he wants, or it doesn't tell him, but it was good enough for Hijab to use it in his video. But notice he wants two things, right? He wants there to be a voicemail that he can use in the event he needs it. And then he wants him to also lie to Behind Veils and say, I retract everything. I learned that Aisha was deceiving me, blah, 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 so that they stop the investigation or, they conclude differently, because this is all why it's still private, right? This is all long before the video is published on YouTube. Hijab has this great plan of how to get away with this, and it's through quite clearly blackmailing Torana. But instead, so Torana does send the voice note to Hijab, but then instead of sending it to Behind Veils as well, he tells them exactly what's going on, right? I'm being blackmailed. Hijab's coming after me. And he says he's going to expose all this stuff instead of lying to them as well.
Rough.
This was the blackmail message sent by Hijab back on February 11th, stating he must acknowledge that he misrepresented the situation, retract the statement, and apologize. So what was the voice note Hijab played on his first response video? Let's have a listen.
However, upon closer examination of her baseless claims and after being presented with the actual text messages highlighted in this video, Mr. Torana came to a sobering realization. He had been deceived. Let us now listen to his own words and witness the moment this deception is laid bare.
I just wanted to acknowledge that I was kind of misled. I should have paid attention to all the details before dealing with it. But anyway, at the end of the day, it is a mistake which I wanted to apologize.
Well played, well played. Muhammad Hijab.
Bravo, bravo.
Your thuggish blackmailing tactics almost worked.
Almost.
That is, until the truth was laid bare. And Ali, it's quite interesting how you make this whole emotional scene about not blackmailing Torana. You play another misleading voice note from him. But yet you consciously and strategically chose not to address all of the points Torana relayed about being blackmailed. What about the recording of Shik Torana directly saying that Muhammad Hijab blackmailed him and that the Sheikh says he is very ill because of it? And then you pretend this whole investigation started nearly 2 months before our first video and that it had nothing to do with the release of the allegations against Muhammad Hijab.
And he thought this was because of the whole hijab situation. Brothers and sisters, the video was released on 6th of April. This investigation started, this complaints again came back on 11th of February. That's 2 months ago, before any Salman video.
Once again.
So hang on. So again, I think this is obvious at this point, but so Ali Dawa is pretending to his dumb, stupid, idiot followers, who apparently in this situation, there's enough of them that aren't even falling for that. So in other words, he's assumed that even his followers who are complete idiots are actually dumber than they are. They're not even falling for this. That he's acting like all this stuff comes out in April, and therefore all this blackmail stuff couldn't have been connected to that because this started in April, when in reality the Behind the Veils guys are doing all this investigation behind the scenes long before their video comes out. It's pretty.
The total investigation was 8 months, so they'd already been investigating it 6 months when Hijab found out about it, I guess, and decided, or at least found out that Torana knew. He might not have known that Behind Veils knew about Torana and was talking to him. But that's when he found out they were talking to Torana, and that's when he started blackmailing him 6 months into the 8-month investigation.
I have to conclude, there's some stuff that Ali Dawa could be in the dark about, like as far as Muhammad Hijab, not giving him full details and information. But at this point, I think Ali Dawa has to know he's being deceptive here. Like he has to know that
saying, "Oh, but the video came out in April, isn't it? Oh, there's no way that this has anything to do with that." He has to know that's complete idiotic nonsense.
This drama has the most ridiculous plot I've heard in my life.
It is. It's like, I mean, seriously though, like it's so there's so much stuff going on, and then referring back and so on, and then stuff that goes back years, and then different recordings and screenshots from different times. It's like, if these behind veils guys weren't so like thorough and meticulous, it would be easy. It would be easy for someone like Ali Dawa and Muhammad Hijab to throw people off what actually happened. So you actually got the guys who are the perfect foils for this nonsense.
The message that Torana relayed to me about being blackmailed by Hijab, that was on February 11th, the exact same day that you stated the investigation and the complaints against Torana originated.
Number two, he ended up in hospital because of, since 2019, of these alleged harassments going about him. There's an investigation going. That's why he ended up, because he realized multiple organizations are coming forth of complaints and 10 plus witnesses, and we've got text messages, all this kind of stuff. That's why, brothers and sisters, that's why he ended up in hospital.
Let's be absolutely clear. Shik Torana ended up in the hospital because of Muhammad Hijab, the very person who threatened him, blackmailed him, and then launched a smear campaign against him. Hijab is a thug cloaked in religiosity, and you, Ali Dawa, have done everything in your power to cover up for him. Twisting timelines, warping facts, and performing digital gymnastics to confuse the ummah.
So in this scenario, Muhammad Hijab is basically the Jeffrey Epstein, not nearly as smart as Jeffrey Epstein, but Muhammad Hijab is the Jeffrey Epstein, and Ali Dawa is the, what's her name, Ghislaine Maxwell or something like that, of this whole situation. Okay, great job, Ali Dawa. You make us want to convert to your religion.
Wait, why did the Sheikh go to the hospital? Why did he land in the hospital? I'm not asking what it was a result of, but for what was he in the hospital? I don't understand.
Probably some sort of panic. Probably some sort of panic attack or something like that.
Yeah, he said that he was, very stressed out, was having heart palpitations, wasn't eating, stuff like that. So basically, a panic attack.
So Muhammad Hijab comes out and says, "Hey, I'm basically destroying your entire life. Starting tomorrow, there's gonna be all these accusations against you of all this abuse that you've been committing all these years, all because you're not lying for me right now." And this sends him into some sort of panic attack, and he goes to the hospital.
Nice.
Is that about right, Thaddeus?
Yep. Yep.
But the deception ends here. Let's break this timeline down step by step and watch how your narrative, Ali, falls apart. On May 19th, Ali Dawa published a response video 2 weeks after a bombshell revelation of how Muhammad Hijab had begun blackmailing Shik Torana and everything that precipitated due to it. So Ali Dawa thought he was smart. He painted a timeline saying that
Ali Dawa thought he was smart? Oh my goodness.
Allegations against Torana originated on February 11th, almost 2 months prior to Behind Veils releasing the first video regarding Muhammad Hijab. So he tried to use this timeline to defend himself and Hijab, claiming that it had nothing to do with this case and that I had tried to conveniently associate the two. But here's the details Ali never thought would be revealed. January 31st, we first contacted Muhammad Hijab directly and privately. We raised the issues we had uncovered, but instead of addressing them sincerely, Hijab started playing games, evading questions, flipping narratives, and issuing veiled threats. It was at that point that we reached out to Sheikh Muhammad Torana. We needed to understand what had really happened, and over the course of the next few weeks, I had multiple conversations with the Sheikh.
Everyone see this? So April 6th, they released their video, and then Ali Dawa's defense is going to be,
"Oh, but Muhammad Torana being in the hospital can't have anything to do with us blackmailing him, yeah? Because that was back in February, and it was because we was investigating him, yeah?"
And then these guys put together the full timeline. No. Back in January, they initiated a discussion with Muhammad Hijab, calling him out, saying, "Hey, There's some stuff. We're trying to resolve this. Let's figure out a way to resolve this. And then earlier in February, Behind Veils initiates discussions with Mohammed Torana. And Mohammed Torana finds out that he's being used as the witness here. Mohammed Hijab threatens him February 11th, says you need to take back the things that you've said and say that you were misled and you were wrong and apologize. So I have the recording, which exonerates me. If you don't do that, I will expose you for doing horrible stuff. And then Ali Dawa. And then on the 12th, the very next day, Mohammed Torana states Hijab has begun attacking him. So this is all Ali Dawa tries to get past all of this by total deception.
These guys are very intelligent, man.
Yeah. This is and this, guys, this is really, I mean, seriously, I've talked about this before, that you have manipulators and they're manipulating their followers, but the followers condition the manipulator as well, because they make you think you can get away with anything. That's why Andrew Tate will say something and then 2 months later say the exact opposite and say he never said the original thing. And his followers will believe him. But that's why he'll keep doing stuff that is easy to expose. His followers have conditioned him that no matter what he says or how he contradicts himself or how he lies, they'll just keep cheering for him. And that leads him to believe that he can get away with saying anything. He doesn't need to be careful. He can be extremely sloppy. It doesn't matter. That's how the Dawa guys are. No matter how idiotic their argument or their point is, their fans will just cheer for them no matter what. And that conditions you over time. You don't need to be careful. You can be as sloppy as anything and you'll get away with it. And now they're not getting away with it, and they don't know what to do. Hence, panic set in.
February 11th. This was the day things escalated. Hijab had come to know that we were speaking to Shik Torana, and that the truth was close to coming out. So what did he do? He launched a blackmail campaign. He sent threatening messages to Shik Torana, messages the Sheikh himself read to me over the phone in distress. Hijab gave him a midnight deadline, demanded that he retract his statements, issues an apology, and sends proof of it, or face consequences. This wasn't some vague exchange. It was direct, calculated intimidation. That is the real trigger that led to Shik Torana's health collapsing and ultimately being hospitalized.
It's extremely
that same day, February 11th, Ali Dawa conveniently claims that this is the day allegations against the Sheikh surfaced from 2 sisters, and that somehow this justifies the collapse. But Ali never expected us to have evidence showing that on this exact same day, Shik Torana was being blackmailed, not by any sisters, but by Mohammed Hijab himself. So either, 1, you're using that date to manufacture an alibi, or 2, you were already informed of Hijab's blackmail and chose to use this investigation as a smokescreen to discredit the Sheikh in case he spoke up. February.
Everyone, these are your Dawa heroes. These are the heroes of Dawa. These are the people we're supposed to listen to when they give us these arguments that we look at them and say, you know you're lying about the Quran. You know you're lying about the Hadith. You know you're lying to make your case. No, they would never lie. They're so great. And this is how they are.
They would never lie. Man.
Yeah, it's like, what do these guys have to do before you realize you're dealing with narcissists and complete chronic compulsive liars? What does it take?
But at least they're not Christian, yeah?
Yeah, that's all that matters, yeah?
12th, I continued my conversations with Shik Torana. He shared how Hijab was now going behind the scenes, contacting organizations and leaders, trying to destroy his credibility. He was clearly distressed, emotionally wrecked, and fearful of what was unfolding. So what did Ali try and do in his last video? A desperate attempt of damage control, laying the groundwork and preparing a script to confuse the timeline and discredit the Sheikh. So let's summarize. We contacted Mohammed Hijab on January 31st. Hijab begins blackmailing Shik Torana on February 11th. Shik Torana reads the blackmail messages to me on February 11th. Ali conveniently claims investigations began that same day. Then Shik Torana's health begins spiraling under pressure from Hijab's threats. And the following day, he is hospitalized. And now, after all of this, Ani, you want the world to believe that this was unrelated, that it all just happened to overlap?
It's a coincidence, yeah?
No, Ani, this wasn't a coincidence.
That's funny you
It
said
was a cover-up. You were and continue to be.
That was perfect. I said, it's a coincidence. Yeah. And he said,
responded to
it's
you.
not. He responded to me as Ali Dawa. That's funny. Well,
Part of it.
let's pause here and take a couple super chats because some of these super chats are related to stuff we've been going through here. The Dawa crowd, Jack Ray says, the Dawa crowd went no holes barred like their false prophet Muhammad going all Misar wife for Al-Zut. This is, guys, this Al-Zut stuff is no laughing matter. A man was gangbanged in the desert. They gangbanged
me in the desert.
They banged me in the desert. The men of Al-Zut, they gangbanged me in the desert. Cheryl says, I got my first Artsa box using promo code Dizzle. Thanks for the discount. God bless you, gents. Guessing care regret going after Thaddeus more every day. Yeah, Thaddeus, you seem to have a lot of time to go through all this stuff.
Well, I mean, in all seriousness, I absolutely would not have time to investigate this whole situation had I not been fired. The timing actually worked out quite well. You could say providentially. I'll leave that up to your judgment. But because I had been fired for criticizing Islam, I had a lot of time on my hands and put quite a lot of time into investigating this whole thing, keeping up with all the saga. There's probably like, I don't know, 30, 40 hours of content at least that I've personally been involved with. Watched many more hours of content on this. So thanks, Care. Thanks. You wanted to get me canceled, and this is the result.
Doing a bang
The
up
irony
job
is
there.
I canceled myself, right? I barely was doing any content before I was fired.
Good job, Care. We need a couple more organizations like you and a couple more Muhammad Hijabs and like 3 more Ali Dawas, and Islam will be done. The Rolling Stones.
Just in case anyone... Sorry.
Okay.
Just in case anyone doesn't know the story, go to my channel. There's 2 videos explaining the whole story of my being fired.
Mm-hmm. We have this and this. Oh, Rolling Stones, Zut of the Earth. That's not the actual title. Stop making stuff up, people. I'm leaving you for AP, my sparkling diamonds.
Oh, now I'm here. Powerful.
David, you need to do a Catch a Predator sketch with Ali. Sit over here, Ali. Then he's trying to run away. No, we've been planning for a long time one of those, but it's about Muhammad. Just never gotten around to recording that. But there is going to be, I'm going to have to be Chris Hansen. And it's Muhammad Hijab. He thinks he's showing up to do something with the 9-year-old. Oh, no, they kidnapped AP. Can't find the link anymore. Ha ha, that's what you get, Ida, for trying to be a traitor. Oh, good to see you, AP. I thought
Hey,
Iran got you.
Hey, what's up? Yeah, it didn't work out. I had to cancel because Goldie, the person that I was supposed to go live with, she was actually, so she's running Twitter Spaces or X Spaces all day long, and she's Iranian. And
wait, is she the one from the Twitter Space from earlier? Whenever it was going through all these weird tweets from 2013 from the Ayatollah.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I listened to some of that.
And she's the one who published that one video that that we showed the other day as well about Iranians. So she hosts these spaces and invites people from Iran and from inside Iran. And over the last 2 days, there was barely any contact from people inside Iran because the Islamic regime of Iran cut or shut down the internet access for people inside Iran. And today something happened and people started regaining internet access. So after 2 days, there were suddenly people connecting from inside Iran again and talking about the situation. So she is kind of busy with that, which is why she couldn't join the live stream. And they have been telling stories about what's going on inside Iran. It's kind of messed up.
Oh,
there's strict martial law.
Did you say mashallah?
Yeah, there's strict martial law. And,
mashallah. They're saying there's martial law, mashallah.
Yeah, and then there are patrols everywhere of soldiers, secret police, and things like that. People are randomly pulling over random citizens, checking their phones, detaining people based on false suspicions that they might be spies and working for Mossad and things like that. There's really bad stuff going on right now.
Yeah, they obviously have to crack down on the information that gets out, because if Iranians basically took to the streets and took over to where you've got millions of people like in the streets, in various streets protesting and so on, and the military decided to crack down on them, but people are posting that, this would be really bad time for bad PR, because they got some total idiots who are defending them. The Iranian regime has some total idiots who are defending them left and right, just because they'll go with the opposite of whatever side Israel is on. But if it comes out like a brutal crackdown against protesters and so on, against women and so on right now, this would be very bad for that bit of PR. So anyway, it's good that people are able to share some information. Now, this is interesting, Thaddeus. Mr. and Mrs. Friendly Ex-Muslim. The Elon Musk accusation was January 16th. Timing matches. So let's go back to this timeline. Let's go back to this timeline here. Okay. So the 31st, Behind Veils initiates the discussion with Muhammad Hijab. But Aisha has been contacting various Muslim scholars for a long time by this time. And so it's January when Muhammad Hijab comes out with this, Elon Musk is saying he's going to frame me for something. And he said he's going to use his billions of dollars and that he's willing to spend every penny of his billions of dollars to beat me in the desert and to set me up for things that I've never done because I have so much integrity. And what did we say back when that happened? We said, something's about to come out. Something's about to come out. Something's about to happen, and this is going to be his defense, and it's pathetic.
Yeah, so they didn't contact him directly till the 31st, but I'm sure that Hijab probably got wind that someone at least was investigating the matter, looking into it. Lots of people had already heard about it, right? If Aisha she might be exaggerating somewhat, but she said she contacted more than 100 people to try to find someone to give justice. So, I mean, at minimum, we're talking about several dozen people in the Dawa community are aware of it. I'm sure Muhammad Hijab's aware that people are looking into it. And so he comes up with this excuse.
Yeah, can you imagine?
Then he doesn't use it, strangely.
Yeah, I know. It's like even he realized how
dumb it was.
How stupid this is. Oh, look, here's Sister Aisha and Sheikh Mohammed Torana. These are the people that Elon Musk paid billions of dollars to try and set me up, to try and destroy my powerful Dawa. I think even Muhammad Hijab realized this is just too stupid. But what's funny is once it came out, once the stuff started coming out, he did have his followers there. Oh my goodness! Muhammad Hijab said that Elon was going to come after him, and now it's happening. He did have followers that were stupid enough to fall for Elon setting him up. But apparently he realized it's not going to be enough, and that most people are going to be like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, you giant walking clown emoji? Anyway.
Yeah, some of his followers were smart enough to come up with an alternate that Muslims would definitely believe, that Mossad had set him up. So he should have just said that from the start.
Why didn't he go with Mossad?
I know. That's what he should have done. He said in January, I got word that Mossad's going to frame me.
Yes, Mossad has contacted me. I'm not going to share it, but trust me, bro. Mossad contacted me and said, you will stop your campaign against Israel, or we will set you up for having a secret hotel wife and blackmailing a sheikh. And I said, you will never stop me with these lies. Dawa, man. Dawa's awesome. Guys, I get that these guys have to go down for this stuff, but can it wait a little longer? I still haven't learned how to use the 3 stones. Oh, don't worry. This is This is not going to end Muhammad Hijab's career. Far from it. Far from it. He'll still have his followers. So don't worry. You'll get plenty more use out of these guys for a while. In the not the same kind of use that the men of Al-Zut got out of Muhammad, but plenty of good stuff. Plenty of good stuff out of these guys. In the words of Dr. House, everybody lies. Especially if you're a Dawa guy. Nobody lies like the Dawa guys. You see, Allah's curse is truly upon AP. He has shown the obvious power of D. Wood as he is not a cat human. This is the proof. Just kidding. Sorry your live didn't work out, AP. I hope it will later. You going to reschedule
My life did work out. What are you talking about, man? I just rescheduled my life.
When's your new live?
I don't know.
Oh, you don't know? Okay. You better figure it out because I'll schedule one for myself the same time. And then the same thing will happen again. Hey, Dizzle got super.
I need a new life. I'm completely happy with my current life. So.
Hey, Dizzle got super chats to work. Tell AP Owen Schroyer from InfoWars responded to his Candace Owens tweet. Maybe he can ask Owen to go on InfoWars. Do you want to be on InfoWars, AP?
Do I want to be on a Russian propaganda space?
Is it your dream to be on InfoWars with Alex Jones and Nick Fuentes and Milo and Kanye?
Do I want to get paid by Russia? That's a good question. Maybe I do. Maybe.
But anyway, someone from InfoWars responded to your malicious attack on Candace Owens, the greatest person in the universe.
Oh yeah, because I said Candace Owens is an an enemy of the United States of America. Because Candace Owens literally said on her show that she thinks U.S. troops should just disobey orders and be dishonorably discharged if they are sent to fight in different nations. Now, if you become part of the military, especially in a country where it is not compulsory for you to become to become a soldier, you are giving a vow to obey orders. It's not up to you to decide whatever is right.
It's in the oath. I do solemnly swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same, and that I will obey the orders of the President of the United States and the orders of the officers over me. According to and then it actually gives, according to the Code of Uniform Military Justice and so on, and then it's so help me God. And so you take this oath, which means there are situations where you could disobey an order if it's going against the codes of military justice and things like that and so on. You could. She's just saying, if you don't like it that the U.S. might drop a bomb on someone in Iran or something like that, and you don't like that, you just say, no, I'm not going to do it. That's dangerous if it's, hey, anything you don't personally agree with, you have to. There you're just saying based on your personal feelings and depending on whether you're a Candace Owens fan, you're going to be deciding whether you want to obey orders in the military based on what Candace Owens said. That's insane.
It's also illegal to say that, to give that advice, and to publicly incite people to do this, for which she could be charged. Although there is a defense because she wasn't too explicit about it. She said, "I think this and this and this." So she could defend it as not directly calling for disobedience, but directly going out there and telling the army to just disobey orders is not legal. So. I would be careful if I was her.
That is pretty. I mean, that's actually crazy stuff. Telling the military and over what? Iran? That the United States might do something to take out the Iranian regime, and you say, "Do not follow that, guys. Do not follow that. Just get a dishonorable discharge." And that's some serious stuff there. You're advocating, Candace.
Candace.
Christian Gadfly says, my wife left me after listening to Thaddeus' song. Imagine what she would have done if I made her speak with a whiteboard and cheated on her Muta.
Great video. If you haven't seen that, check out Christian Gadfly. Very funny.
He paid us to say this. Yeah.
He paid us to promote his
stuff.
$5. Ali is very bigly on women's rights. Plus, in Hijab's voice, AP, stop copying Trump's vocabulary with bigly. You clearly watch his videos. Get zooted.
See? You're copying my vernacular.
This stream is 5 times better now that AP has joined. Wrong. It's 15 times worse.
Oh,
Mr.
by the way, you know what
Paraboman.
she also said? Speaking of this,
She who?
Candace Owens also
Okay,
also
so-
said that it was good. So she glorified the what's his name? That guy who burned himself, Arson Burnwell or something like that.
Bushnell or something.
Yeah. So she made a post about how he did a very good job and he was a hero and he tried to draw attention to this kind of stuff.
Candace
Basically,
going full
glorifying
like
people saying
insane
it was on fire.
evil.
And then I saw some people saying, "How about you go next?" And if I wasn't a Christian by now, I would have retweeted that kind of stuff. But yeah.
Yeah, a couple months ago you would have. You would have totally. As a matter of fact, a couple months ago you would have been the one who said that instantly.
Yes.
Mr. and Mrs. Friendly Ex-Muslim, I spoke to a former Muslim scholar yesterday who told me secret wives is nothing. Many, many famous dais and speakers hire hookers on the regular. Yeah, I've quoted, this is from years ago, but I've quoted this from back in the day. This was a comment on a video from years ago. Where I was talking about Muta and so on, and people, no, we don't do that, and so on. Anyway, she wrote, Muta is 100% true. I know this for a fact, my very own self. Before I repented and gave my life to Jesus, I lived a very sinful life. I was an addict and sold myself to support my habit on the streets of Bankstown, Sydney, Australia. The majority of my clientele were Muslim men. The unmarried ones would ask me to repeat some words in Arabic after them, which was basically me agreeing to marry them for however many minutes I agreed to give them in sexual service for the amount of money I agreed to charge them. They would even look at their watch for the exact time, even if we finished in 1 or 2 minutes, which was always the case. If the agreement was for 30 minutes, I would have to sit out the remainder of the marriage. Then once that 30 minutes was up, we were instantly divorced. I jumped out of the car and proceeded to get married several more times that night to other Muslim men. Also, so many married with children Muslim men make up the majority of clientele in the street sex work industry in the Bankstown area. I just wanted to confirm that Muta is very real and still happening today in Western countries. I thank my Lord Jesus Christ for saving me and making me a new creation.
Amen.
But I mean, just think about that. There are all these guys. They're going to a prostitute one after another, but they're getting married, so it's all okay with Allah. They're all getting, well, what? I was married. She was my wife for that. She was my wife for 30 minutes. See? Thanks, Islam. What is this religion?
Yeah, so we talked about earlier how Muta is generally only accepted by Shia, but there is a minority position within Sunni Islam as well that the Shias are actually correct, that this was never properly outlawed. And as I
could quote the exact Sunni sources. I can bring up the Sunni sources saying exactly that. Yep.
And as the Da'is will tell you, if you have any school of jurisprudence that says something, you can just say that you're following that school, and then it's allowed for you. And you can change your school regularly.
Yeah, and if you have hadiths, which are also sahih, so you got a sahih hadith over here saying Muhammad forbade the practice, and then you'll have another sahih hadith saying, no, it was a later caliph who forbade the practice. Muhammad never did. You could just, I trust this one more than I trust that one.
Yeah.
That's all. That's all you need to do. Great stuff. Orthodoxy refusing to baptize is another dilemma. Hey, don't be attacking AP's church here.
Who's refusing to baptize?
Yeah. They're not refusing to baptize. They're just saying he has to wait a year.
Nobody's refusing to baptize.
Because they don't trust him. Because his beard isn't cool enough yet.
Yeah.
Muhammad Hijab and Ali Dawa would be like Pinky and the Brain, but they're more like Pinky and another Pinky.
That's really
Never
mean.
actually seen that one. I'm guessing Pinky is the dumb one, and that the brain is the smart one. Okay. That Ali guy was definitely a forceps baby. Very rude, very rude, very rude. Sylvester Stallone was a forceps baby. Ali Dawa doesn't represent all Kurds, I assure you. No, he is the standard
It does.
and the pattern of conduct and the worldwide example of all Kurds everywhere. The fainting goat, also known as myotonic or nervous goat, is a species that, wait, that's Ali Dawa. Why are people so mean, man? Muhammad was walking funny. Oh yeah, he was walking funny after the night of Al-Zut. Let's see.
That's very mean.
Who's the Discord
It was
mod? Who's the Discord mod in the middle? It's Thaddeus.
I guess that's me.
I just want to say that I can't get the Diddy line out of my head. They did what to him all night in the desert? Bad stuff. Let's just say bad stuff. Muslim women are brainwashed and groomed from childhood by their families to get used to the idea that their worth is less compared to their brothers. Even after becoming a Christian, it took me a long time to unlearn all the misogynistic things I was taught growing up as a Muslim woman. Yeah, it is seriously disturbing how you can get programmed to find things acceptable. I've had tons of Muslim women over the years be the ones who are defending like wife beating, but we get so emotional, we need to be beaten and stuff like that. It's like, you've been told all your life that is the justification. That you need it. It's the only way to get a point across to you is just to beat the crap out of you and so on. So anyway, yeah, you can convince people that this stuff is right. You see, Mimi drinks camel pee. What? Who says that? Candace said that Netanyahu is synagogue of Satan. Yeah, I saw that one. She's synagogue of Satan. Did each Al-Zut marry Muhammad for a few minutes? Yeah. How many? Muhammad's Muta marriages with the men of Al-Zut. They're like, hey, I'm going to marry you for the next 2 minutes. Okay. All right, let's get back to this video. Hopefully it will be less Islamophobic than the chats are.
Mm-hmm. People saying, firstly, where is your evidence? You have no evidence. Mohammed Tarana was not a witness for this so-called marriage, nothing.
Akhi, as I said to you, Wallahi, I was not involved in the nikah between Muhammad Hijab and the sister Bushra in any sort of form. I was not her wali. I was not a witness. I wasn't involved in that nikah.
Imagine someone lights a fire and then says, I never held a match. And it's true, they didn't. But they actually used a lighter. You see what's happening? They're technically telling the truth, but they're deceiving you by how they frame it.
That's what he's been doing this entire time. Like with him saying,
I swear by the great God Allah, yeah, I never blackmailed him.
Right, that can be entirely true and doesn't even address it, and which is what he's pointing out he's doing here. He's saying stuff that's technically true that he knows is going to mislead people because they're going to think, yeah, this is garbage, man. Ali Dawa, man.
And what Salma doesn't tell us,
go ahead.
May not know, what someone may not know, or at least doesn't tell us about, is that this is actually recommended by Sharia manuals. That if you're in a situation where you can't defend yourself by telling the truth, you should not lie by deception, where you say something that's technically true, even though you know the audience will perceive it a different way. That is preferable to outright lying. Of course, we'd call it a lie either way, but the Sharia manuals teach that this is the Islamic way to lie.
And if you listen to Muhammad Hijab and Ali Dawa's discussions and so on, they're really big on all the various ways you're allowed to lie and so on, even to your own wives, everyone else.
All they're doing is playing word games. That's exactly what Ali Dawa is doing here.
Yeah.
He uses Shik Torana's statement, which denies formal involvement in the nikah, but hides the fact that Torana spoke to one of the witnesses.
He doesn't want to be known that he has done something wrong, as you know. So people didn't want to be known that they have done something wrong, meaning to be in a process of a nikah, which is in this way, it's wrong. He accepts that this is wrong.
Yes, Torana wasn't a witness, but he did testify that a witness confirmed the nikah. That's involvement. That's testimony. Don't let Ali Dawah's linguistic gymnastics fool you. That's not honesty, that's wordplay, that's deception.
When the marriage took place and divorce, and even initially they didn't stay for something, only for 1 month or something, and things didn't work between them. Even though, by the way, they sent her money as well. The witnesses, they said that one of them, he sent her money because there is marriage took place. And we cannot say that when he divorced her, that the divorce didn't take place because it is done properly. He divorced her according to what they have done. And as well, he gave her mahar, which is the dowry out of that.
So what exactly are you denying, Adi? Stop being vague, deceptive, and evasive. If you believe everything that Torana stated was a lie, then why didn't you mention that in your video? And if that's the case, why do you keep using his voice notes as testimony even in your last video? Do you see the contradiction in your logic and your actions? Because everyone else clearly does.
I'm guessing we're going to get some more comments on his own video here in the very near future of this video. So guys, just in case anyone hasn't been following the story as we've been going along for the past many weeks and so on, as this has unfolded, you have Shik Torana, that's the guy who gets blackmailed by Muhammad Hijab to take back what he is told. Shik Torana was not one of the witnesses of the marriage. He knows one of the witnesses of the. I mean, he may know everyone for all I know, but he knows the details of what happened in the agreement because he was talking to one of the witnesses and he shared his knowledge based on that. Then Ali Dawa in response goes, "Oh, but they're talking about Shik Torana, but Shik Torana, look, here's a clip him saying he wasn't one of the witnesses, so he don't know nothing yet." Okay, not being one of the actual witnesses of the marriage does not mean you do not have relevant information in all of this. And so the fact that you pretended that that meant that he has no clue what's going on here is just deception. But people aren't falling for it. Are we going to get a comment from Ali Dawa's video?
If Shik
Oh, I nailed it, man. I'm starting to
David.
Prophet Dizzle. He's always right.
Torana says he spoke to a witness who confirmed the nikah took place, what does that have to do with anything with his own personal allegations that happened at different timings and are completely separate to the case?
Mm-hmm.
Adi, you made a whole video accusing me of saying her testimony is her evidence.
Her testimony is her evidence. Brother, her testimony is her evidence. Her testimony is her evidence. I'm just saying, her testimony is her evidence. Testimony is...
Wait, he's accusing... He's saying that this is what Salman is saying?
Okay, so yeah, let me explain the context here. I didn't cover this video because it's not all that relevant, but Ali released a second video, so the one we're watching, or that he's responding to, is the third. In his second video, Ali just repeated the accusations of Dunya against Salman, and he kept saying, according to you, because you're taking Aisha's testimony as evidence, Dunya's testimony is evidence against you. I'm not saying it's true. I'm saying that according to your standard, it's true.
Okay. I got it.
But the irony here is Ali apparently couldn't actually get Dunya to say anything to him. So he ends up playing Salman's own videos where he says this is what she said about him in an attempt to defame him behind closed doors.
Got it.
Her evidence, her testimony is her evidence. Her testimony is her evidence, Salman. I'm just saying her testimony is her evidence, yeah? Salman, we're just saying her testimony is her evidence. And look at what kind of an irresponsible man you are. Her testimony is her evidence. Backfiring on you. Her testimony is her evidence. And hope that you taste your own medicine. One of the claims that was...
So just to be clear on all of that, that's just... The real point of the context there is it's really Ali Dawa now... Oh, you're attacking him, so we're going to attack you. That's the real idea there, right? Okay.
Yep.
Great guys. If you expose Muhammad Hijab for abusing women, we'll go after you and heap insults and abuse on you. Gotta love this community. These guys should definitely be in charge of the entire world. They're such good guys.
By Salman was what? Her testimony is her evidence.
Testimony?
And then in the last video, you actually
And
read
I have the certainty of my testimony.
one of our posts from the Behind Veils channel. It literally said, one of our team members made an innocent mistake.
But what did Salman do? Salman said, of course not. Do you know what he did, brothers and sisters? Let's read for ourselves. He made a mere simple post, not a video, a simple post saying the following: correction on a personal testimony as evidence in Islam. The clarification is important. One of our team members made an innocent mistake.
Did you hear that? One of our team members made an innocent mistake.
One of our team members made an innocent mistake.
Instead of owning the truth, you doubled down on the lie. You didn't just misattribute a team member's comment to me. You used it to launch a 25-minute hit piece packed with slander about zina and physical abuse. But why would you go to such an extent to be so sloppy and reckless? Maybe because you and Hijab tried ringing up Dunya, only to realize she had nothing of substance to arm you with. So what did you do as a desperate YouTube reality show creator? You went scavenging. Downloaded my first video, frantically scraped things from my website, snatched screenshots like a gossip blogger on a deadline, and somehow convinced yourself you were making a documentary. If this is the new standard for Dawa, then congratulations, Ali. You're not just a Dawa guy. You're now the editor-in-chief of the Modern Muslims Drama Digest tabloid. All headlines, no evidence. All clickbait, no substance. All drama, no dignity.
Salman has...
Hang on. I actually didn't understand. Thaddeus,
Yeah,
what was the
let me
point of
explain
the letter on the screen, and there was an innocent mistake made or whatever?
Yeah, he doesn't really explain the context. So let me get the whole story here. So in one of the text messages sent to Muhammad Hijab, which Hijab, or not Hijab, shares in the video, they said... Hijab says you have no evidence, basically, right? And then they reply back with 4 points. The first of which is Aisha's testimony is evidence, right? And then there was 3 others, right, with the other points of evidence. But not Hijab says, see, they're saying that her testimony is the only evidence they have, and that's not Islamically valid. A woman can't testify for herself. So Hijab says that. Then Ali Dawa says that. Then Ali Dawa, Behind Veils post that statement, which was on their channel, which was unrelated in any way. Ali Dawa is taking out of context, pretending it's something. But apparently in YouTube comments, someone who works for Salman made an incorrect statement, and they made a public apology about the incorrect statement they made. And then Ali Dawa says, see, this is in response to our videos. And because this is his standard, I'm now going to make this 25-minute long video about Dunya and how her evidence is her testimony, or her testimony is her evidence.
All right. What is
This is so funny, man.
this? Is awesome.
had zina in our marriage. There are video recordings. His sister tried to run me over. He used to beat me. I put a restraining order on him.
And you still haven't apologized. So here's a question. Will you accept the Islamic punishment for false slander about zina? I mean, after all, you are Adi Dawa, or do Islamic principles not apply to you?
No, I only do Dawa. It's for others, not for me.
But little did you know that golden bullet was a bullet in your head. Salman needed a golden bullet. And that golden bullet would have come how? By sacrificing Muhammad Tarana.
You call
These guys are so dramatic, man.
And who is the expert on golden bullets? How about the guy who's the expert on golden showers? Yeah, and we all know who that is, don't we? We all know who that is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ali Dawa apparently thinks you can just upgrade a silver bullet by turning it into a golden bullet. It's not a real expression. He just made it up. But I assume that's what he's trying to do, is say it's a super silver bullet. I don't know.
Trying to think about a golden bullet. Gold is a soft metal, so it'd be an expensive bullet, but I'm guessing that once it hits, it would like spread out because it's soft and would actually do a bit of damage. I don't know.
It's a golden shower bullet, yeah. We got a golden shower bullet with our super soaker, yeah? I got my super soaker, and it's going to give you the golden bullet shower from Muhammad Hijab.
golden bullet? No, Adi, it's your golden noose. You tried to use
He
Shik
flipped it.
Torana's voice to defend hijab, but then when the truth came out via his testimonies, you turned against
what is
him
with you?
and turned against the truth. The real
What are
golden
you saying?
What's with these cringeworthy lines, man?
Yeah, I know. Dude. Hey. Hey, behind the veils. Ali, Dawa, all you guys. For all the future, forever, Muhammad Hijab has ruined any use from any Muslim of the word golden in any context. In any context. Here, look. You two can play with each other. Get on your knees for D-Wood. Gimp, D-Wood can give you a golden shower. Go ahead and give D-Wood what he wants. Let D-Wood give you a golden shower. Gimp, get on your knees for your master. Boy, you can suck that golden showed from your master. See, it's not just golden showers, it's golden showed. I know you need a slave master, golden shower. Gimp, get on your knees for your master. Let him slap your face, you fiend. Okay.
Oh, but you get on your knees.
Yeah. So guys, just to be clear, anytime we ever hear a Muslim use the word golden, we now think of Muhammad Hijab and his golden showers messages. So you have to retire the word. I'm sorry, but you got to retire the word. The word has to
He's
be
the golden boy.
retired.
Golden boy.
Not retired in the way Ali Dawa is retired.
bullet is coming soon, Habibi. But until then...
Oh, hang on. That was a threat.
Yeah.
That was a threat. Here we go. Had to back up.
bullet? No, Ali. It's your golden noose. You tried to use Shik Torana's voice to defend hijab, but then when the truth came out via his testimonies, you turned against him and turned against the truth. The real golden bullet is coming soon, Habibi.
The real golden shower is coming soon.
The real golden shower. Golder than the word Habibi as it appears on this screen.
But until then, let's recap a few points. You used a Photoshop text to mislead the Ummah, but when the lie was exposed and forensically proven, all while making you look like a fool, you remained silent and in the shadows. Brother Ali.
You remain silent in the shadows, behind the Diddy line, watching all of this unfold. What's happening to your boy, Muhammad Hijab?
You must think most people are stupid. Stop insulting our intelligence. I don't know how you presume to show evidence after the last screenshots you posted were outed as doctored and you have nothing to say about it. You are too close to this situation to be of any tangible benefit.
Good point.
When Hijab used an AI-generated deepfake voice trying to fabricate a confession in an effort to frame the sister, one that was forensically proven to be generated using 11 labs, you remained silent and in the shadows.
Hiding behind the Diddy line, watching with your perverted eyes. What's going on?
You people generated a fake screenshot of Aisha and fake voice of Aisha using AI. When we put that Aisha voice in software, it says 95% AI generated. You attack others for sharing recordings while doing the same yourself. You broadcasted recordings of Sister Aisha taken secretly, illegal by UK laws and without her knowledge or permission. Also, you keep whining, no evidence.
It's
No evidence, yeah.
you gotta say
There's
it right.
no evidence, yeah.
I feel there's no evidence. It's like, look, if you put a square and a triangle together, that would not exist, right? It would not exist like your evidence. It don't exist, isn't it?
You gotta explain things like your community's ready for.
It's
And-
impossible existence, yeah.
And Ali Dawa would help if you have Smiles to Jenna dangling grapes in your mouth while you're saying all this. That really seemed to impress your fans. They're so smart.
Al Torana himself said Hijab apologized to the sister after a real marriage and divorce, and that Hijab even sent a screenshot of the apology to Torana, and even testified that he spoke to one of the witnesses who confirmed that the marriage took place. I messaged Sheikh Torana directly saying I saw Salman's video and I believed him. He said Jazakallah and to keep him in my du'as. He didn't deny anything at all. We heard from the audio Sheikh Torana himself said he was blackmailed, yet Ali's trying to put this on Salman. Ali has nothing else to say than repeat the same slander and in the most childish way.
Yeah.
This video has proved nothing other than deflection yet again.
Sounds like Ali Dawa.
Your contradictions are endless. Your strategy is obvious. Diversion, deflection, theatrics. You and
Diversion, deflection, theatric. That's Dawa. That's what Dawa is. These guys are just, here's everything they've learned about Dawa, and they're just applying it in the rest of their lives. And this is what you're getting. Guys, if applying the principles of Dawa gets you to this sort of insane, ridiculous scandal, do you think that's a good methodology? Do you think these are good? Do you think Dawa tactics are good tactics when, if you apply them elsewhere, this is what you get?
Yes.
Hijab are not defenders of Islam. You are defenders of yourselves.
That's true.
And the more you talk, the more the truth continues to be revealed. You keep digging yourselves into a deeper and deeper hole.
You're hiding. You're hiding, boy. Hijab in hiding. Yeah. Why isn't Hijab breaking all this down for us and responding to Aisha's call for a mubahala and so on?
He's yapped on and on about Elon Musk. He's attacked Alex Jones. He's called out the government of India.
True.
He's even ridiculed and challenged many du'at.
I've seen
Muhammad Hijab has no issue pounding his chest and roaring like a lion.
Thought he was going to say pounding something else here.
But when it comes to the sister he secretly married, used, and discarded, when it comes to Shik Torana, the very man he blackmailed, when it comes to the mountain of evidence that now surrounds him, instead of being a real man and accepting his mistakes, he has squirmed away like a little mouse.
Everyone getting that? Because that's one of the main takeaways in all this for anyone who might be on the fence. I don't know how you would be given the mountain of evidence, but Muhammad Hijab, he's like he loves to run his mouth about everyone, Elon Musk and Netanyahu and all these guys. Oh, me strong than you. Okay, here's a woman saying some stuff about you, and here's Shik Torana. Where are you at? Oh no, I have another channel that I post under a fake name, and oh okay. Yeah.
Hijab, where you at?
Yeah, you are acting like a whiny little mouse here, dude.
It's finished. I know you're burning right now. I know you can't take it. It's not within you. Yeah, you cannot accept criticism. I know it's hurting. Ooh, it's probably.
Why are you doing your best impression of Muhammad with the men of Al-Zut? Oh, it's hurting.
It's one for the soundboard there, in my opinion.
I know you're burning right now. I know you can't take it. It's not within you. Yeah, you can't.
He's impersonating the men of Al-Zut, talking to Muhammad.
Cannot accept criticism. I know it's hurting. Ooh, it's probably.
He remains utterly silent. No videos, no live streams, no denials, no oaths. Instead, he hides behind Ali Dawa, sending out...
Just, when he said hides behind Ali Dawa, I pictured like 6'8" Muhammad Hijab trying to hide behind little pipsqueak Ali Dawa.
Yeah, he's too big to hide behind me. They are telling lies.
Well, and then it reminds me of when, was it Aisha who said that he would show up to the hotel for their for sex and he would wear a mask so no one could recognize him?
Right.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
He would show up to the hotel wearing a mask so people wouldn't recognize him. Someone did a fake little cartoon of like regular sized people named Muhammad Hijab in a hotel lobby with a mask on. It's pretty funny, man. Oh boy.
His foot soldier while he stays hidden in the shadows. The public
Behind the Diddy
has
line.
noticed. I just want to know why Big Man Hijab is hiding behind Ali Dawa. Where's his confidence and ferocity now? The accusation was that Muhammad Hijab blackmailed him. Why is he not speaking for himself? He can easily come out and apologize for everything and move on, but he's allowing this to fester. It is embarrassing. Because Muhammad Hijab is guilty, so he gets his minions like Ali, who makes thousands to do his bidding.
Shadows of the same secret.
Yeah, I'm just going to say that you might want to just play this all the way through because it is so savage, the way he handles this section. your call, but it is savage.
Well, let's find out. There's only a few minutes left of this video. We've gone through a ton of it, but let's see what we've got here. I saw a section of this. Which is why I named this Ali Dawa's secret hotel wife exposed. People think we're joking. Anyway.
You know, Ali, you've been obsessed with defending Muhammad hijab with every breath and every step. That got me wondering, but I'd rather not jump to assumptions. And like you stated,
But if only they just assume the best and ask questions rather than jump into accusations.
so I'd like to ask you some very direct questions instead of jumping into accusations. Have you yourself ever had a secret nikah, a nikah without your first wife knowing? Did you ever enter into a secret marriage with, I don't know, possibly one of the sisters who made multiple appearances on the Bitter Truth show? Could this secret nikah behind your wife's back possibly have happened while you were in Mecca, possibly for the purpose of performing Umrah? Could there be a super random chance that it could have happened in October of 2023, just months after Muhammad hijab's secret marriage and divorce with Sister Aisha? And did you ever give this secret wife a talaq, a divorce, shortly after your first wife found out? Once again, just for clarification, I'm just asking questions instead of casting accusations, because you did say,
Ask questions rather than jump into accusations.
we'll be patiently waiting for your responses, not vague and wild goose chases. Until then, all I can say is, birds of a feather flock together.
Ooh, dude.
Thaddeus, that sounded like Salman actually knows some stuff here, and it didn't sound like he's just innocently asking questions.
So a little bit of context here why this is so savage. I mean, other than the obvious, in the video where Ali Dawa passes on all the accusations against Salman, he keeps saying, I'm not saying anything, I'm just asking questions. I'm not saying anything, I'm just putting it out there for people to consider.
Candace Owens, everyone. That's all I said. That's what Candace always said. I'm just asking questions. Just asking questions.
Yep. Just ask some questions. Just ask some questions.
So just to be clear, this is is this episode the one where they're talking about the secret wives, or is that a different one?
I don't know if that screenshot is from that episode or not.
So yeah, I'm just I'm gonna back up real quick. Gonna back up because that was pretty brutal, but this time we'll pause it a little bit.
You know, Ali, you've been obsessed with defending Muhammad hijab with every breath and every step. That got me wondering, but I'd rather not jump to assumptions. And like you stated,
But if only they just assume the best and ask questions rather than jump into accusations.
so I'd like to ask you some very direct questions instead of jumping into accusations. Have you yourself ever had a secret nikah, a nikah without your first wife knowing?
So guys, it's no secret Muslim men are allowed to marry up to 4 women or girls, but there's a different issue of secret wives, ones you keep secret from your original wife, because if you have one wife who hey, and they can even make it clear, like, hey, we're getting married, I want you to know ahead of time, I'm the only one, and oh yeah, of course you're gonna be the only one for me, yeah. And then, of course, you can't tell her when you're going out and marrying extra wives and so on. So apparently, Ali Dawa.
Did you ever enter into a secret marriage with, I don't know, possibly one of the sisters who made multiple appearances on the...
You guys got this? So he doesn't say which one, but you've got 4 women on there. So you'd have 4 men and 4 women. And the purpose of these shows were to basically convince women that they should have no problem with these guys banging as many women as possible. That's the real point of the show. Hey, just get used to it. We're gonna be banging all the women we want, and if you have a problem with it, then you're bad wives. You're bad. Do you want to be a bad wife? Do you want to be a bad Muslim wife? Okay, then if you don't want to be a bad Muslim wife, then you need to be on board with us banging whoever we want as much as we want, and so on. And apparently, Salman knows that Ali Dawa was ended up in a secret extra marriage. We say second, but we don't know. This could be third, fourth, whatever, and so on. He used his platform to get these women on the show and then picked one, and then on a trip to Mecca, said, hey, why don't we do a little secret marriage here, yeah? And so I can bang you while we's in Mecca. I got to bang you. I'm a long way from home with my first wife, so I need to bang you while we's here in Mecca, so that we can worship a God like this. You know, it's the only way to do things in Mecca. And she said, okay, well, you've got your own show, and you guys really sound convincing when you're telling us that it's okay to treat us all like prostitutes. But then his first wife finds out about this, and then he has to divorce whichever of the four he was banging in Mecca. These are the guys that we need to save us from immorality. Right?
Just to clarify, I'd say most likely he cut a deal that he'd pay for her travel, allow her to go on Hajj in exchange for the marriage.
Oh.
That was most likely her bride price.
Oh, I get. Oh, so hang on. So Ali Dawa has this chick on the show, and this is like speculation at this point, right? Because you're wondering what the connection would be to the pilgrimage and so on. So would have been. So, Hatun's messaged me saying he was in Mecca in October 2023. It's on video. So this all lines up timeline-wise. So you're saying that it would make sense. She's on the show. She's on the Ali Dawa show and being lectured on what it means to be a good wife. And Ali Dawa's like, so have you been on the pilgrimage yet? And she's like, oh no, I can't. I've never been able to afford going on the pilgrimage. I just wish there was something I could do to afford it. And he's like, well, I's got the brilliant plan, yeah? I pay your way with all the donations I get from my prayer mats, and then I will go down there and bang you a bunch in it, and then you get to go. It's win-win. It's win-win. I win because I get to bang you a bunch, and I don't have to pay nothing because I get paid for the prayer mats, yeah? And I go down there, and you get to go on the pilgrimage, and then you get banged by me, so everyone wins. And she's like, okay. And then Ali Dawa wasn't thinking, oh, what if the first wife finds out about it? And so it wasn't win-win for her. And then so she complains, and he goes, no problem, I just divorced her then, isn't it? And she grabs her, hang on. Hold up. Hold up. I'll show you exactly what happened. I've got the proof right here. I got the proof, everyone.
You see?
I got the proof. Hang on.
Suspenseful.
So Ali Dawa one day walks into the living room, and his first wife holds this up. And then so she went ahead and she didn't say anything. She just went. And then what happens? Ali Dawa realized he had to divorce his Mecca Muta wife.
The irony here is that Misar literally means travelers. So it's kind of envisioned the other way. Someone's on travel and they hire a local to be their temporary wife. But that's literally what Misar means, is traveler's wife. So a Misar wife is a traveler's wife. So he hires her as a Misar wife to go on travel to Mecca.
Hotel wife, basically, is what we would call them now. Hotel wife. Would you want to be my hotel wife? I'll pay for your pilgrimage, yeah. And keep in mind, guys, if it actually comes out that happened, this is the thing. He's probably doing this every year, right? He's probably doing this multiple times per year. Because you have sex with them and then you divorce them and so on. And again, Muslim women are not generally going to want to come forward with any of this stuff, even if they get abused and used and so on. They're not going to want to come forward with this stuff. The fact that we actually have information on a few of them at this point means there's probably a ton of them.
Truth Show? Could this secret nikah behind your wife's back possibly have happened while you were in Mecca, possibly for the purpose of performing Umrah? Could there be a super random chance that it could have happened in October of 2023, just months after Muhammad Hijab's secret marriage and divorce with Sister Aisha? And did you ever give this secret wife a talaq, a divorce, shortly after your first wife found out? Once again, just for clarification, I'm just asking questions instead of casting accusations, because you did say,
Ask questions rather than jump into accusations.
we'll be patiently waiting for your responses, not vague and wild goose chases. Until then, all I can say is, birds of a feather flock together.
What'd you say he should have said, AP?
Stay away from Islam.
That would have been good.
Yeah, he definitely should have said that. I'll have to double check, but I think the timing is also interesting for a different reason. So it's right after Muhammad Hijab's secret marriage doesn't work, but I believe it's also right around the same time that they do that episode. So what could have very well happened is that
you're saying could have been real quick.
Yeah, that Ali Dawa didn't really know whether this was allowed or not. They did that episode. Ali Dawa was convinced, and then he said, "Oh, I'm going to take advantage of this opportunity and take my own secret wife." So possibility, again, speculation, but seems to fit.
I wonder if he bought a Muta for his Mecca Muta wife.
Yeah. hey, you can't steal Abdullah. Abdullah just posted that joke, man, about McMuta in Mecca.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can't steal someone else's joke and then pretend that you came up with a brilliant joke.
I just came up with it.
Isn't that your MO?
Yep. And they're all stealing my joke, the McMuta. Ali Dawa loves talking to God logic. Could he become his sidekick if he cleans up his act? I don't think Ali Dawa is bright enough to be God logic's sidekick. Reason Answers has had a great episode on lying in Islam, what Sharia says. Did you? Is that true?
Yeah, it's a while ago. It's probably like 2 years ago, but there are multiple words for lying in Islam, not just taqiyya that we hear about. So when they say, we don't do taqiyya, blah, blah, blah. Well, taqiyya actually only means lying about your religious belief, but they have a wide variety of words to explain different types of lying in Islam. And that's how ingrained it is. So they say, I'm not doing taqiyya. They're technically telling the truth because they're not lying about whether they're a Muslim or not. They're lying about something else.
True. That can't be true. I don't believe you.
Ali Dawa is a testimony. A testimony. Ali Dawa is the golden shower boy of Dawa. The golden boy. Sending love from Brazil. Keep going, guys. We will. We're unstoppable. When his first wife found out. Yeah, doesn't it? I mean, keep in mind, guys, Hijab and Ali Dawa, they obviously were married to a woman who insisted, hey, I'm the only one, and they obviously agreed. And that's why they have to make it a secret. And then they get exposed. Well, Robert Spencer debated...
Imagine these guys as example, man. It's just ridiculous.
Robert Spencer debated Dave Smith. Dave, meme points made stumped him a little. Like Netanyahu's speech in 2002 at Congress when he was a private citizen. We might have to go through that.
I know that he did. I have to check it out later on. I'll go through it and then I'll have a look at that.
Hey, we could actually go live and go through it, and probably since we're friends with Robert, we could get Robert on to go through it with us and stuff like that. Might be.
But you're friends with Robert?
Yep.
I'm a huge fan, man. You should...
Yep. Yeah. I can introduce you to him. All right.
Robert got me fired, so there's that.
Yeah, great job, Robert.
Unlike you, Adi, I'm not in the business of sacrificing and selling my religion for money. I don't compromise my values, ethics, or Islam just to monetize attention.
How noble!
But you proudly joke about having a PhD in clickbait. Your videos wrapped in deception, your thumbnails misleading, your headlines often so dishonest that a disclaimer is required mid-video that it's not clickbait, because deception is now your default.
He has to put not clickbait when he's not clickbaiting. I mean, when he's not clickbaiting, because otherwise people just assume he's clickbaiting.
Yeah.
Claim to defend
and that is
Islam.
a perfectly accurate description of Ali Dawa's videos. I think he probably is genuine in that he believes in Islam, but his titles and his deceptive way of doing videos is noted by everyone, including Muslims who, many Muslims they haven't come out and said anything about hijab secret Muta or whatever, but they have come out and said that Ali Dawa, its way of doing videos is very dishonest and they don't approve of the way he does videos. Ironic that they care about something like that, but not like, abusing a woman.
Mhm.
Abusing women is normal. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it's called priorities, Thaddeus. Come on.
Right.
But what you really do is exploit it, because he wants to deceive people by turning the story to his needs. Let's call it what it is. You are profiting off of ads. Your loyalty is to your views, and your fear is losing your YouTube money. You are trading honesty for monetization. You engage in clickbait and tabloid-worthy sensationalism out of your desperation for clicks. That's not Dawa. That's selling your deen to chase the dunya. Oh, that's right. Let's address your favorite phrase. He made his whole dunya dunya.
You are so
I
obsessed
saw this part. He keeps doing the same joke over and over again. Not the most original thinker, is he?
with your ex. You've made your whole dunya dunya. Yes, he's made his whole world dunya. This man. We're going to come to now.
Somebody who is so obsessed over dunya that he's made dunya his whole dunya. And I've said this before. He's obsessed with her. Yes, his whole dunya has become his ex-wife dunya. Who is somebody who is obsessively obsessed. He's made his whole dunya his ex-wife dunya.
Salman, because of your desperation, because of your obsession with dunya and whatever she put you through, yes, you made your whole dunya dunya. Your obsession with dunya, making dunya.
So it's so impressive that he just keeps coming up with this off the top of his head.
Yeah.
Your whole dunya.
It's powerful wordplay.
And it doesn't stop there. Even in your messages to me, you keep parroting the same thing like a broken record. I told you, you've made your whole dunya dunya. Hadi, wallahi, this is utterly embarrassing.
Pretty bad.
You've repeated it so many times, I'm half convinced you've got it stitched onto your pillowcase. Do you recite it at night, whisper it in the mirror, frame it over your bed? Because from the outside looking in, the only person obsessed with mentioning dunya is you. You've turned a woman you've never met into a punchline. But why? Because you can't answer the actual allegations. So instead, you mock,
Yeah. It is funny. See, Ali Dawa does not have a way with words. He sounds like an idiot. I mean, he sounds like a complete idiot. Salman has a way with words. Ali Dawa, don't get into a battle of words with a guy who has a way with words when you don't. Okay?
and you
I would have
repeat
to
your
agree.
slogan.
He's very skilled at making these videos. Right? He's very skilled at writing a good script and saying the right things and delivering a very powerful line.
No, if it weren't for the Behind Veils guys, I mean, who else could have pulled this off, right? I mean, that is hard. You've got the combined forces of Dawa guys and their millions of followers and stuff, and they're completely willing to lie, blackmail, do fake AI-generated confessions and Photoshop, screenshot. They're willing to do anything to. That is some serious obstacle if you want to. And these guys are crushing it. These guys are just crushing it, man.
And like it's your motivational workout music that keeps you going. And what's even more pathetic, you've become Hijab's human shield. You've turned into his guard dog. Your obsession isn't with dunya, it's with hijab. You've become so obsessed with defending hijab
pretty creepy.
that you've become blinded by the hijab. You've launched attacks on everyone, Sister Aisha, myself, Shik Torana. Everyone except the man actually guilty of the accusations.
By the way, isn't that amazing? It's like this guy. What's Ali Dawa's problem with Salman? Just that he's exposing Muhammad Hijab. What's Ali Dawa's problem with Aisha? Just that she's exposing Muhammad. What's his problem with Shik Torana? Oh, that Shik Torana told the truth about what happened and refused to be black. Like, he's declaring war on anyone who tells the truth and doing anything he can to defend the guy who's an abuser and a liar. These are your Dawa guys, Muslims. These are your heroes of Dawa.
Muhammad Hijab. Adi, this is no longer defense. It's a full-blown obsession, an emotional fixation dressed up as religious commentary. You're not confronting the truth. You're desperately dodging it. And everyone watching can see it. Notice Adi want to talk about everything but the marriage. That's the point of this whole back and forth. Did it happen or not? I think most people realize it happened, and you and Hijab twist and lie.
Yeah, it would be very easy, Ali Dawa.
I swear by Allah, there was no marriage. It's all made up.
Just, that's what you should be saying, dude. That's what you should be saying.
2-minute video.
Yeah. Yeah, very easy, Ali Dawa. And then Muhammad Hijab swearing by Allah and agreeing to the Mubahala and calling Allah's curse down upon him if he's 2-minute video. 2-minute video. Ooh, we've got a challenge.
So number one, I challenged Salman to come on a phone call with me that I would take Allah's curse upon me if I am lying about what I'm saying about any of this stuff.
Challenge accepted. I'm glad that you're willing to do a mubahala now, invoking the curse of Allah if you're lying. Even though it's just another contradiction of yourself where you try to provide an escape route for hijab, where you stated that mubahala in the Quran is directed towards the Christians.
There seems to be a psychological issue. There has to be. Is asking Muhammad Hijab, a 6'6" guy, to come and do mubahala with her. Now, when you do mubahala, this is something that is directed to the Christians in the Quran.
Absolutely pathetic. Desperately trying to find a way out.
What?
What does his height have to do with this?
Nothing.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah.
Yeah, for her, you know that Mubahala has to be based on size, yeah? So if someone's going to challenge Muhammad Hijab, who's 6'6", to Mubahala, she would also have to be 6'6". But she's not 6'6", and so we can't have the Mubahala. Don't you read?
It's actually, it actually really is about the size. He didn't just mention that arbitrarily, Ali Dawa. Before that part, he says, you want this tiny little woman to come out and challenge Muhammad Hijab to Mubahala? Muhammad Hijab is 6'6". How could this be? Like, he's trying to imply that he would beat her up or something, but that's not what it's about.
Yeah, I mean, it would make sense if she were challenging him to a boxing match or something, an MMA fight or something like. It's a mubahala, dude. It's a prayer duel. You're praying to Allah that he's going to. Is Allah going to be like, oh, well, I will curse the one who's. Oh no, I can't do it because one is clearly bigger than the other.
Well, I think that maybe hijab's bigger than Allah. That Allah can't enforce his curses because hijab's too big and strong, right? So it won't work. Allah will try to curse him for lying, but then
they just bounce off. They just bounce off his big belly.
Well, Allah is a
Muhammad
mouse,
Hijab.
so it makes sense.
Allah's a mouse. Muhammad Hijab is hiding like a mouse.
After he was challenged by Sister Aisha and was too cowardly to be a man and defend himself. But you know what? I challenge both you, Ali Dawa, and you, Muhammad Hijab, to a live YouTube stream on our channel, which is not monetized.
On behalf of Ali Dawa and Muhammad Hijab, I accept.
Let's sit down with myself and Sister Aisha. Let's put everything on the table. Every claim, every accusation, every voice note, every lie. No edits, no theatrics.
This is like exactly what we say with Muslims about the Islamic dilemma. It's like, hey, instead of making your little videos, you know, back, just sit down. Let's just go through everything. Let's go through everything while everyone's watching, so people get people can make an informed decision based on seeing all of this. Mm-hmm. It's very telling when one side offers that and the other side refuses completely, right? Think if Muhammad Hijab and Ali Dawa, these guys are both skilled manipulators and liars. If they thought they could actually expose all this stuff and embarrass her and expose her as a liar, why in the name of common sense wouldn't they end it right now and say, you're right, let's get together, we'll make it live, we will crush and humiliate her. Instead, they're terrified of her. They're terrified and running from her. Why? Sounds like they know she's just got all the truth on her side, right?
Just the truth in front of the entire ummah. You both claim to represent Dawa. Then don't run away from the Dawa of truth. If you fear Allah as you claim, then meet us live and let the truth speak for itself. The invitation is open. We'll all be waiting for your response.
Patiently.
In the meantime, just know there is more to come. And I sure do hope you've spent your nights and weekends trying to carefully craft an elaborate explanation for what we're about to present.
Uh-oh.
Because it sure ain't looking good. Allahumma musta'an.
Wow. Well, that's the end, guys. We went through the entire thing. It was like 35 minutes.
Mm-hmm. It's a good one. It's a good one.
That was pretty brutal ending there.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. So interestingly, it seems that I find it a little bit unrealistic that Dawa would actually get another wife, considering that he had such great difficulties to find one for himself already. That he even posted about it when he first found a wife that he got married to. He posted about it. Was like, I waited with my sweat and my blood. I fought hard, brothers and sisters. I fought hard. It was very, very difficult, but I finally made it. And then getting
I went out to find her, and they beat me. They beat me in the desert.
In the desert.
AP finds it hard to believe that Ali Dawa found a wife, but I have the proof just for anyone who's doubting this alleged wife. We do have video proof.
I have my wife on my right. Assalamu alaikum. Hope you well, inshallah. She's not going to be in the video, but she's going to have her say with this whiteboard that I bought her. But why is the default that the woman is innocent and the man is always guilty?
Yeah.
Okay, that's something my wife wants to say. Salama probably had enough, as women give a lot of chances, has zero tolerance now.
You know what I find so funny?
No, when Ali was reading this and he's like stumbling over the words and I don't know if it's because he's barely literate or she just like is terrible at writing. You can't tell. You know, what are you saying, AP?
What I find funny is that after all of these years, Ali Dawa still hasn't figured out how to say the plural of woman.
What's he saying?
He wants to say, whenever he sees the word women, he says, when a woman say this, he still doesn't know the difference between woman and women. He has no idea. It's so funny.
Okay, this is why I want you here. Yeah, it's very important for you to be here.
Yeah.
Yes, just to take the past traumas of their father or ex-husband, etc., and project it on other people. So, okay, she's saying,
yeah,
she made the video, not him. I don't know his opinion. Well, exactly. There you go. Okay, there's nothing else I have to say. Anything you'd like to say? If you do, just let me know, inshallah. The Prophet, peace be upon him, told us he went to the hellfire. Again, I know you guys are going to be like, oh, it's a reality check. Okay. And he saw a majority of the women of the hellfire. Why? He said, not because they are ungrateful to Allah, because they are ungrateful to their husbands.
So you need to be.
He actually says that.
You need to be grateful to me, even if I was out marrying Oka.
Was this? I don't remember when this was. Was this before October of 2023 when he was he got his Muta wife, his Mecca McMuta wife?
It's a good question.
In other words, is this after she found out and then? Anyway,
anything that I said wrong is from Shaitan and myself. Anything good is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Is there anything you disagree on? No? Okay. Are you under any duress? You can blink twice? No? Okay, that's fine.
Well, but we can't see her face.
For myself and my dear wife, may Allah bless you for your contributions. It's a pleasure and an honor.
Hearty handshake.
See, now it's all good, so you can stop complaining because I put you in my video, yeah?
How about you get on your knees, yeah?
We have Ash here who says, D Wood, leave her handwriting alone. She's 7.
I will say that there's probably nothing wrong with her handwriting. Ollie always struggles to read anything he's reading. So
that's true. I can confirm. Yeah.
We're all on the same page there. It's just it could be both. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it could be both.
Could be.
You had me at Al Zut. Arctic base, very rude. And Apostate of Allah says, perhaps Ali Dawa and Hijab practice the act of al-zut with each other. Hey, we don't need to be speculating here. And that's why Ali is so obsessed with him. He likes them 6 foot. We can neither confirm nor deny any of these unfounded accusations.
That makes sense, I would say. Yeah.
I mean, it would make perfect sense, but we don't have a lot to go on.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. Everyone feel free to draw your own conclusions. All right. Well, that's what we wanted to get through, and we wanted to make sure everyone is completely up to date on the Muta wife scandal that's going on. And I mean, seriously, here, think about this. Muhammad Hijab did what? He married a woman under false pretenses. Yes, we're going to have a life. And yes, you're going to, we got to keep it secret. But yep, I'm going to be married to you. I'm going to provide for you and so on. Then she finds out very quickly, oh, he just wants me as a hotel wife. And that was all. He was just saying that to get me in bed. And then so she tries everything she can to deal with this behind the scenes and make him just apologize. And then, and then let other Muslim women understand that you need to watch out for guys who are trying to turn you into hotel wives. That's it. That's all she wants. Hijab can't even grant that. So what does he do? I'm going to blackmail a sheikh. We're going to Photoshop a screenshot. No one will ever be able to detect this. I'm going to use an AI platform to generate a fake confession. No one will ever be able to crack this by just putting it into the same system and saying, is this fake or real? So he's doing all this, but guess what? Then what happens? So Shik Torana, his life's all screwed up because Muhammad Hijab wanted to take it, but now Ali Dawa's being exposed too. There are costs. And this is something that you see from manipulators. They're willing to bring down everyone around them to cover themselves. And this is Muhammad Hijab. His most loyal defender, Ali Dawa, is now in trouble. And his most loyal friend is now going to be exposed as well. And this all could have been avoided just by Hijab being honest for 5 seconds of his life. He had to be honest 5 seconds of his life. He couldn't do it. He would rather bring down everyone around him. Keep in mind, Shik Torana, that was Hijab's teacher. He's bringing down his teacher and his best friend, destroying both their lives, all because he can't be a man and confess to what he's done. Can't do it. He can't let anyone have that victory of making him be honest. You can't make me be honest. It will never happen. I will destroy the entire world and my entire religion, but you will never make me be honest. What a guy.
It all makes sense now, man. I messaged him a while ago and said, hey, I have a question. If this is all slander, why aren't you suing her? And he saw it, but he never responded. I guess I have my answer now.
We've got our answers. Last 2 super chats. Please do a stream on Nigeria. Nobody cares. Robert and I do This Week in Jihad almost every week on Wednesday. Wednesdays, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. Robert and I do a show called This Week in Jihad, and we cover Nigeria almost every week because there's always stuff happening in Nigeria. So you can check that out. And does the Night of Al-Zut appear in Shia sources? I have not checked, but wouldn't surprise me because they're the ones that have all the good stuff on Muhammad and Dawah al-Kalbi. They get more details than what you find in the Sunni sources. But yep, not sure about Al-Zut in the Shia sources. Maybe someone can do a little research project. All right, everyone. What do you got coming up? What do you got coming up that you want everyone to know about, Thaddeus?
Gonna have a live stream tomorrow. Topic to be determined, but there was a very interesting tweet that was went viral yesterday. A guy who holds some kind of world record for highest IQ in the world.
I wanted to make a short video about that. I don't know if I wanted to be a jerk. I was gonna start the video. Well, the smartest man in the world has declared Jesus is God. I declared that in a jail cell many years ago. But enough about me. Let's talk about this guy. And then just completely change the subject. I don't know if that was like too stupid.
It's good. It's good. It's good. So I may or may not do that as part of my live stream tomorrow, but I'm definitely doing a scripted video on that. I already recorded it earlier today. So now you know if David also does one, he's copying me. So just wanted to put that out there.
By the way, is that all legit? Because with the stuff like smartest guy declares this, I'm always like, is someone just making that up or something like that?
Yeah. So I thought about just doing like a short and like having it, you know, like, oh, that smartest guy says Christianity is true. But I did not feel good about doing it that way. So I do actually go into the nature of the claim. And short version, anything above like, you know, 175-ish is basically meaningless because it's too dependent on the exact test you take. The number's not made up. He did score that on some
okay,
sort of test,
so what you're
no
what you're saying is you have different organizations that test people and so on, and you could get different results in that. And this organization has declared like, oh, he's the smartest guy in the world. I mean, when I'm talking about legit, I mean is like this guy is actually that guy, and it's him who's saying this and so on.
Yeah. So it's definitely him. He has a YouTube channel as well. I looked into it. That was the other thing. I was like, is this guy just like looking for publicity or is this like actually genuine? So I did dig into it. He has made a number of tweets in the past talking about his religious beliefs and whatnot. It does seem very consistent. It does seem to be the guy. There's pictures of him elsewhere as well. So seems to be all legit from that angle. Now, whether he's really the smartest person in the world, highly doubtful, but he is definitely very smart, right?
Then what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to set up this awesome debate. World's smartest man versus Lily J with ChatGPT. And we'll have the ultimate showdown.
Yeah, I mean, that was part of the reason why I was like, yeah, maybe I'll just do like this short thing and like play off Lily J because, you know, Muslims are like, oh, ChatGPT is the smartest thing. It's proven that Islam is true and whatnot. But I didn't really feel good about doing it that way. It was a little too deceptive for my taste. So I decided to actually explain who he is and whatnot.
It is funny because, you know, I'll probably make a short video out of this as well. But at the end of the day, I wouldn't make too much out of something like this.
No,
it's a guy at the end of it. But I just want to say, could you imagine if the smartest guy in the world declared Muhammad's a true prophet? We would we would never hear the end of it. We would hear that 10,000 times a day, every day for the rest of our lives.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, my thought's the same. Like, I mean, does it really matter? I mean, it's not really that important that someone with this artificial title declares that Jesus is God, right? I have good reasons to believe that without him, right? And I don't need to appeal to authority for that. But if it was a Muslim or if he was supporting Islam, you know, you'd hear about it forever. I mean, even if he was supporting atheism, you'd probably hear about that forever as well. You know, world's smartest guy says atheism is true and everyone else is dumb. So because of the tactics they use, I was like, well, you know, I can't pass up the opportunity. So that'll be my next video.
All right, AP, anything you want to tell people?
No.
You heard it here, folks. AP says no.
Sometimes you have to say no.
You doing something tomorrow?
Who, me?
Are you rescheduling your thing for tomorrow? Is there anything going on tomorrow that people should be ready for?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Quit being a weirdo. Okay. You heard it here, folks. AP doesn't know. Catch y'all next time.